them and you have like 3 chances and you keep undercutting them and you keep lowballing them and you have like 3 chances to do it and you use all 3 and then they get mad at you. I think that's kind of what happened. Like, I feel like he was pressing him too much and it's hard to be sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of scamming. It's just that one I'm not really sure about.
For the first time in my life by an Indian. So this is a meme right now. Please be patient, student driver.
Oh.
This is a kind of a joke, a meme online because there's so many of them. Are you a student driver?
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
Why do you have the student driver sticker?
No, why are you taking video?
We're doing a
Why are you taking the video after you ask her why she has the
survey for people that have student driver stickers.
I'm not a student.
Do you have a student driver in your family?
Before I am a student driver, so I kept it. I forgot to remove it.
How old are you?
30.
I have a sticker which I put it inside.
You have a student driver sticker?
That's for my girlfriend. So.
Come on.
I really, really, really want to talk shit about this, but I have to tell you guys that years after I graduated from college, I still used my student ID to get the student discount at Cece's Buffet Pizza Place. I did. I'm not proud of it. I shouldn't have done it. It was the wrong thing to do. But I did.
So your girlfriend has a student driver sticker.
And she has a student driver license.
Is your girlfriend a little girl?
No.
How old is she?
She's about 30. She just started driving. She wouldn't drive, learning to drive.
I see. Did she know how to drive in India?
No.
Yeah.
No,
I see.
no,
So
no,
it's a difficult translation over
Yeah,
no,
it's left to right and
no.
all that. So.
Shut it down.
She did her course 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Generally, it looks a little scammy almost.
Sure, yeah. Now I know that's a great thing. I'll remove that.
Is that your sticker?
Yes.
It is. Are you a student driver?
No.
Why do you have that sticker?
My kid sometimes drives.
I see.
But if so
That's
many
reasonable.
of these highly specialized H-1B Indians
I mean, he's bald, so he could have a kid.
first came to America to study at our colleges and then stayed here until they got an H-1B visa to work, then why exactly aren't American students educated in the same schools qualified to work the jobs we've
That's
been
right.
told we need
Yes.
these Indians for? Are
Exactly. That's the, yep.
Indians somehow vastly more overqualified than every other nationality on the planet and therefore receive 70%
Chat,
of
put a 1 in the
America's
chat if you agree.
H-1B visas?
71%?
Mavash Siddiqui, a U.S. Foreign Service officer with 21 years of experience in national security and foreign policy, who worked as a visa officer at the U.S. consulate in India to understand what's going on here.
I'm not representing the U.S. government. I'm not representing any other entity. It is just me, myself, and I speaking from my personal experience as a consular officer in India, which was 20 years ago. So an H-1B visa is a guest worker visa. It's a temporary status visa. You abide by the laws of the United States as a non-immigrant, and then your permanent residence needs to be in India, so you have to return back. When I served in India, my job was initially to basically focus on what is known as non-immigrant visas, that it is a travel document which is meant for temporary visitors. What I saw in terms of industrialized fraud was there was systemic corruption and fraud happening because everybody and their mother wanted to go to the United States.
I bet.
In that jurisdiction of
I don't blame 'em.
Chennai, we were mainly seeing a lot of fraud patterns come from Telangana.
Kerala fake degree scam accused widens nets. Only over 500 fabricated documents.
The Telugu community and really
Fake
ravenous
varsity,
hunger
fake
amongst the 16 to
certificate.
45 years of age people to basically use the visa loophole in order to cut
Massive. Wait, what does it say? Here's another one. Massive India-wide fake degree scam cracked. Over 100,000 certificates seized. 100,000. So you're telling me that they're
cut
fake
the
degrees?
line and actually emigrate to the U.S. So the intent was to come to the U.S., work here, find an avaricious lawyer, go to the Department of Homeland Security, you change your status from like a visitor visa to a permanent residence. This hunger and craving that I saw created this systemic, massive ecosystem of fraud. For instance, when I went as part of the fraud management unit to this place called Hyderabad, there is a huge back industry called Amirpet. There's a visa industry where you have storefronts after storefronts focused on.
What does it say? I'm trying to read it. Oh man! Wow! Holy shit!
Basically creating fraudulent documents. A lot of F1 students, I'll give you an example. You know, there were 400 of them and they all had the same bank documents, but they had the guts to present these documents, which basically were
So 400 of them used the exact same documents?
fake transcripts, fake bank statements, and also, you know, fake degree certificates or high school diplomas, etc. So it was industrialized in the sense there were factories, and they also had these storefronts saying green card would be possible within 6 months, kind of thing. Like, you know, we were just like so overwhelmed that there was this pressure to issue, right?
And where was this pressure coming from?
The U.S. Embassy in Delhi had obviously a political appointee ambassador. This is during the
It's
George
even more
W.
fake.
Bush
Give you an
days.
example.
And then we had
Jesus.
obviously the consul general, but there were politicians who were pressuring, whether from the South India arena or from Delhi itself, saying, you know, you need to issue visas in order to make a better, stronger bilateral relationship happen. Even
What?
if that individual is not qualified. At one point we had this ludicrous pressure to say, if that person is not a terrorist, go ahead and issue thing. And so we
If they're not a terrorist?
started the system in Chennai to revoke H-1B visas where we saw a lot of fraud happen. The United States spits out
Holy fuck.
150,000 people a year. Amongst 800,000 students, you have 100,000 who've gone through this rigorous, like, computer science coursework, and then they're told they don't have an opportunity to work in our industry. But then you have these Indian H-1Bs come in with just a Microsoft certification. Some even had the guts to present us with graphic designing, you know, which is very different from, you know, taking C,
Graphic
C++,
design?
assembly language, SQL,
What year is
third
this?
degree calculus. That's very different. So it's just interesting how we had a very hard time revoking these, because it's not like a simple revocation. It's a bit of a uphill battle for a public servant or a consular officer to revoke those, where the burden of proof falls on me. After a long, grueling day of interviewing 200 people, you have a stack of...
How are there not, like, accreditation, like, whitelists? Like, I don't understand this. Like, shouldn't you know whether it's fake or not? I mean, there's, like, not even a test. And I think this is the other big problem, is that, like, I don't really know how true this is, but a lot of times people accuse the people that are coming from India to come here and then only hire other people from India. And this is, I think, the way that it gets kind of covered up, is that if that's true and they're actually just doing this through nepotism, then that explains the reason why it doesn't get exposed and it doesn't get discovered and fixed. Because in a normal system, this would come out, it would happen, they would be exposed and then removed. So if that's not happening, then the odds are that they're preventing it from happening.
H-1B revocations that you have to type up and send to the Department of Homeland Security and say, this is why we suspect fraud,
Yeah.
which means, you're providing pictures and documents.
Do you remember what I was saying? Like her explaining the process about how I said that this is the way that you have malicious compliance inside the federal government, is that they process documents as legitimate instead of fraud, even if they think that they're fraud, because processing a fraudulent document takes 10 times as much time. And if you're being graded on how many documents you process, and then you're detecting fraud documents that are taking you 10 times as long, well, then that's hurting your numbers. And now your performance at your job is lower. And so now you're at a disadvantage with your employment. So that's what happens. And that's the reason that there is a system of malicious compliance that is enforced through the federal government's through the federal government's analytics, basically, for like grading employees. And they do that in the purpose of, I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but I think it's certainly what's happening, is that there is an incentive to ignore fraud, even at the lowest level, because you're graded on how fast you process documents, and processing fraud takes a lot longer. It's that simple.
And a narrative, and et cetera, et cetera. We don't have that luxury of time. So I saw the cracks, and I warned people.
Are these
Bug
H-1B
management?
visa
Maybe, I don't
holders
know.
superior to Americans in every way imaginable?
Absolutely not in screaming letters and OT, So that's the halo effect that they have benefited from, essentially because of, the Indian lobby. Everyone's benefiting in this whole system, right? Like there's kickbacks that everyone gets. The visa back industry is there. So people have created this narrative. It's almost like information operations against the United States, right? Where
We are somehow inferior to the labor supply in India. And
what
I
I
say
was
India
saying?
because 70% of the H-1Bs...
There is such a massive, insane amount of psyops that are going on right now towards the American people, whether it's Iranian, Israeli, Chinese, Russian, Indian, etc. And the problem is that Americans right now are at the weakest that they've ever been mentally. Americans are retarded now. We've never been more retarded than we are now, and we're becoming more retarded every year. And so what's happening is that you have all of these foreign powers that are competing for the mind share of the American voter, so they can convince the American voter to vote for policies that are in the better interest of the foreign power that they represent. That's what's happening, and everybody's trying to take a piece of the pie. It is so insanely bad, and I don't know why nobody's seeing this. I don't. It makes me so annoyed.
are coming from India.
Exactly, right? And there is a visa category that they could leverage called the O1 visa. If they were
4chan
indeed
foretold
those,
this? Maybe, I don't know.
super geeks
Systems
or
fucked
very
up, they
smart
fix it,
people.
they do.
But these are not exemplary individuals. These are run-of-the-mill people. But when they come here between the 16 to 45 years of age, and the ones who have basically taken the F1 visa route, and then they get sashayed into the OPT program, and then they get preferential treatment by the Silicon Valley managers and the various IT industry
Why are they getting preferential treatment, though? That's the question.
managers who are basically get seated in the H-1B managerial role. They would prefer their own Indian people, because it's not about necessarily, because the Indians are the best and the brightest. Bribery is quite normalized.
Bribery?
The sad part is I saw a lot of H-1Bs as well as J-1s, especially physicians and others who have bought their seats into medical school, and you have 40% percentile on your score sheet. You're basically
India's elite exams hit by corruption scam?
an F
Oh my
student,
God.
but you can get ahead. That sort of stuff does not jive with our values. Our values are very different. Any minority American would have a worse chance to get into any of these big IT companies because the value system is different, where the H-1B manager would expect that these people that he's bringing in, whether he or she are bringing in, the idea is to get a cut from their salaries. It's almost like a pyramid scheme. It's like a kickback scheme. It's like pay skimming,
Dude.
for instance. So nice quid pro quo system, and everyone's happy. No one outs the other. And that basically
So they're basically all in on this, and it's like a mutually beneficial thing, so nobody's ruining this because they're all benefiting from it. Okay, that makes sense.
IT manager does know that if he or she gets outed, then this person will lose their job. So it's kind of like an honor among thieves. So today, I don't know what things look like, but I'm aware, from a lot of my colleagues who are currently working that fraud has ballooned. So then you have like religious workers being invited on an H-1B. You have accountants being invited on an H-1B. These are not specialized skills. Teachers being invited are colleges and universities create these wonderful best and brightest computer scientists and computer programmers and engineers. After a 4-year college degree, we go through rigorous training. That holistic training that happens in the United States far supersedes what you find amongst the H-1B cloud.
So it's a lot shorter training then.
And out of all the 50,000 plus visa applications, how many of those were legitimate?
There were, easily between 70 to 80%. That was my denial rate. And
70 to 80% were fake? This is the kind of thing that you need to pause in order for you to make a better system in. That is a crazy ratio. 70 to 80%? Or denial rate, not fake? Yeah, but why are they being denied?
And we created that gold rush.
One example of how H-1B Indians are used to suppress American wages. It all starts with this guy who needs some more cheap labor. To avoid the headache and costs of hiring an American, he outsources the job to an IT staffing company. This IT staffing company claims to have an army of high-skilled H-1Bs to fulfill the contract, all at a cheaper cost. And most of the time, these IT staffing companies will rent an office like the empty ones you're about to see, put that address on their H-1B's employees' paperwork, basically telling the government, don't worry, here's the office where he'll be working. But the reality is the IT staffing company won't use that office for anything and will send the
H-1B. So they're just going to have everybody working from home then.
Employee directly to the client's worksite. The client gets cheaper labor without the responsibility of sponsoring the H-1B. The H-1B makes great money compared to what they'd make in India. They can work towards getting a green card in the US. And most importantly, they don't have to live in India. All while the IT staffing company collects the spread between what they underpay their H-1B employee and what the client pays them. It's
just a complete pyramid of malicious compliance. And everybody trying to get a little bit more. Wow.
Win-win for everyone but the American worker.
India number one. Number one.
Now let's go investigate these genius Indian IT staffing companies
Dev
littered
Apps
all
IT.
over Texas. But real quick, I just made $100 by playing games on my phone. And no, it's not too good to be true.
Is it gambling?
Let me show you. Free Cash is a free platform where you can actually earn money by playing mobile games, doing quick surveys, and more. And they've got a 4.8 star rating on Trustpilot, so you know it's legit. Here's how it works. You pick a game offer and start playing. Boom. My Free Cash
I wonder where they do
just
their
went
IT.
up. And you can win more money by completing different challenges within each game. Challenges can be as easy as playing the game for up to 2 minutes and the cash rewards go up and up. I just made $10 for downloading Solitaire Cash on my phone. Just make sure you have app tracking turned on so you actually get rewarded. And you can cash out with PayPal, crypto, or even Amazon gift cards.
Wow.
To get started today, click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen and you'll get a $5 bonus just for starting your first offer. It won't replace your day job, but if you're gonna play games on your phone, you might as well get paid.
I'm surprised couldn't you just scam that at
Free
scale?
Cash.
Couldn't you do that?
There is
I
a
don't
single
know.
company, Qubits Tech Systems LLC, with 8 LCAs, all from this residential home.
LCA labor condition. What is it? What is an LCA? Labor condition application. And how many of them did they have?
Single company, Qubits Tech Systems LLC, with 8 LCAs, all from this residential.
There's 8 of these. There's 8 people working.
Home. Okay. Bunch of software developers here making $51 an hour.
Yeah, this seems legit.
Hi there, worksite inspection.
Hey, who is this?
Hi there, this is Tyler. I'm here to conduct a worksite inspection. Am I speaking to Hari Madiraju?
It's not.
Huh? Sorry, you cut off there.
He's not.
So I am not at home. So what is this? I am in the office.
I'm not at home. Uh-huh.
Wait,
Right.
Who is this speaking?
Is there another work site that you're working from?
Yeah, 4425 West Airport.
West Airport? Okay, so there's no one working from the residential address here?
Uh-huh.
Why do they work for the... Where is your home?
Excuse me?
Where is your home?
Where is your home? Do you live in your home or do you live in your toilet or somewhere?
No,
Where
I
do
don't
you
live in my toilet, sir. So I'm only asking because the LCAs state that this is the address. Is that not the case?
What?
No.
So you don't...
Go to my workspace. Are you from government?
No, I'm
Uh-oh.
not from the government. I'm conducting an independent investigation.
If you are not for government,
Yes?
work right now, I don't have any people, but you can go to the workplace and work there.
All right.
Okay.
We'll take a look
so
at your
they're
office.
gonna go
Thank
to the
you.
workplace. All
Some
right.
attitude. Yeah. But why would this guy
Do you
file
live in your
8
toilet?
LCAs with the work site listed as his residential home? So we went to his office only to
Okay.
find a collaborative work site and his completely empty unit. No one in their office. Hari Madiraju finessed us. Let's give him a phone.
So let me get this straight. He said, "Go see me in my office." He said he's at his office. He's not at his office, and there's nothing there.
Call.
Please
Okay.
leave your message for 2
Right.
4.
You son of a bitch. And strangely
Son.
enough, many of
He
these
didn't pick
ghost
up.
offices were often clustered in the same locations, starting with V4 Tech. V4 Tech, very official. Okay, take a look inside. We see some sort of Eastern monk-like statue right there.
Ooh, that's
we have
Buddha.
an empty little meeting room in the back here. It's almost like no one's here. Who would pay thousands of dollars a month to rent an office with no signs of human life, locked during work hours in the middle of the work week, with no employees in sight? Hi, question for
the
you.
fuck?
Do you know where they're at? Your neighbors?
No idea.
No idea? Okay, thanks so much. A
It
little...
costs money to rent this place, and it's during business hours during the week.
It's a ghost office, a shell. They have paper compliance. They have the physical location they can register their H-1Bs to, and then they can send them off to go work elsewhere. So V4 Tech Inc., completely empty. They should be here. Someone should be here. 420. This is going to be a good one. And there were more
So now
ghost
there's. Okay. That's perfect.
offices all over this complex. All right, we got no sign on this one. Hello? Hello? They ever show up here? Yeah. I just want to ask
What are we
you,
selling?
do you guys actually have neighbors? Does anyone ever show up?
That's a great question. So, how is it that it seems like every immigrant community is exploiting or scamming some version of America? How does this happen? Really? Like, he knows? Of course he knows. It's obvious.
It's a good question, right?
They dispatch contractors at the companies? I guess.
Because we're convinced that this is a body shop. And they have paper compliance.
It's a body shop?
And no one actually works out of
Oh,
here.
right.
There's
Got
like
it.
9 separate units
Got
in this
it.
business complex. No one's here. These
Are you
ghost
ready?
offices. I'm ready.
Are you
Yeah.
ready?
Is that on?
It's on. We're ready.
Good.
Let us know.
He is thinking correctly. You were
He is thinking correctly. Unfathomably fucking based. He knew, everybody knew.
thinking correctly.
NG Talent Tech Group LLC, based in this office, filed 23 LCAs, and there wasn't a soul in their unit. Everything was empty.
Wow.
Hello?
Knock, knock.
This one didn't even have a
So
sign.
wait a minute. They just walked in the office. It was unlocked, and there's just nothing there?
Hello?
Fuck. Look at it. I mean, the only thing that's surprising to me about this is that there's not homeless people living in here. Like, you would assume that there would be a bunch of, like, random hobos living in these rooms.
Knock, knock.
That's
This
just
one
me.
didn't even have a sign on the door. Talenton Technologies claims to have 6 H-1Bs. No one's here.
Right.
In office presence on the following days. Tuesday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Jesus.
Where were our elite Indian engineers and programmers holding the American economy on their shoulders?
So they're doing the same thing that the Somalians were doing, is that they're basically probably running these businesses out of their homes and then using these offices as effectively just like, as I said, a ghost office. It seems like what's happening.
DevApps IT, this is the best.
Yeah,
looking
they're
one
all
thus far
working
with
remotely.
11 H1Bs. No one's here.
Hello.
Not saying bigger.
Hey,
yeah.
do you know if your
You're
neighbor's
thinking
here?
correctly.
I have to see anybody over there now.
We think they might be running a body shop.
Oh, right here in Frisco.
Yeah.
I get it.
What do you
I
think?
get it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Last time I saw somebody here was probably 4 months ago.
4 months ago.
4 months ago.
That's crazy. Were they Indians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They appear to be body shops. Basically, all I'm asking is, are there revolving doors of empty office complexes with a bunch of
And
Indians?
there's revolving people.
Revolving
So
people,
we're-
different people.
We're in this unit here,
Okay.
the one next to us.
Yeah.
People show up about every,
So you see a new group of people coming in and out of there?
and most of the time it's empty.
It's empty.
Uh-huh.
Like probably 11 months out of the year.
If you found
11
out
months out of the year, it's empty.
there were 10 body shops running out of this complex, what would your thoughts be?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It just, the way that things are here in America right now, it just it wouldn't surprise me.
This is what's so frustrating to me is that there's such a acknowledgement and like such a passive and just implied acknowledgement that we're being scammed, ripped off, and taken advantage of, but nobody really actually wants to do anything about it. And every time that something is proposed to do something about it, everybody's like, oh no, well, we can't do that. Everybody knows this. That's what's so insane to me. How can everybody understand and see this, but nobody wants to do anything about it? It's crazy.
You think we're cooked?
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't seem like Abbott really cares that much. Like, he's probably getting paid himself, so our whole government's cooked.
But to my surprise, we finally found an office with an Indian inside. But the sign they had hanging in their office listed a different company
Executive
than what they'd
Software
filed
Guild?
under.
Is this Grand IT LLC? You guys work here? Yeah. Is this a body shop?
No.
No.
It's IT service.
Prada.
Do you guys are a staffing company?
Look at that chain, too.
Sweet. What's your name?
Sachin?
Sachil? Tyler. Good to meet you.
Here we go.
Tyler, what's the name of this place?
Are we cooked or
Grand
cooked?
IT LLC,
Yes.
right?
Grand IT LLC, and this is one more.
Wait,
company,
what's
Executive
this?
Software Guild. It's
ESG.
IT
You guys
Gee.
share offices or
Uh-oh.
what?
No. Like,
So are you guys Grand IT or Executive
both.
Software?
We have both companies.
Both.
Both. Okay.
And you're
So
not
they
a
share
scammer.
offices.
Who was Executive Software Guild Inc., and who is this Prada-dripped Indian? Where were the other employees?
What do we got? We got a brand new TV right here.
yeah, it's a brand new TV. It's like a.
Dude. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it. So true. So true.
It's like a regular meeting area.
Okay. And how many people work here?
Seems that works.
Okay. What are their names?
So, I mean, we have multiple people changing. We have
Yeah.
Vishnu, we have
Yeah.
Madhuri, we have Hari. They are working directly from the client area.
And tell me some of the clients where the H1Bs
Directly from the client area.
get staffed at. Are
Right.
we talking like Verizon, like Deloitte? Who do we got?
We work for multiple clients. We work for USAA. We also work for Verizon.
So I gotta ask, why would anyone print out LCAs and pin them on the wall?
I mean, if someone like a ICE department, we can just show them directly. If they come for any verification of the candidate,
Yeah.
we can show them. Yeah, we are doing the.
That doesn't seem like that's
certification
too
knowledge.
unreasonable,
We have
right?
software developer. We have who's this guy? What does he do?
Vishnu is the owner of the company.
Okay, he owns the company. Okay, we got another sort of empty office set up here, and I like that quote: "If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you." That's a
True.
good point.
So true.
So why is it the Maryland labor law postings up there?
I mean, labor law
And it's
is-
like the workers' compensation in Maryland.
Yeah,
That's
this
what I'm
is like at an orientation room at an office, and they just have this in one of their own rooms.
trying to figure out all the Maryland paperwork right here.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking questions. Yeah.
It's a little
we
bit weird,
work for the
right?
Maryland state as well.
I see. So you
I
guys do
see,
like
yeah.
you guys do CPA for Maryland?
Yeah.
Like you guys do like accounting too?
Yeah, counted too.
That makes sense. And you're not lying to me? You're not lying to me?
No.
Okay.
No.
all right.
Okay,
That's
that's
the reason
good.
we have posted
I was
all
worried
the
about
I
that.
see. I would just think you would post like Texas,
Yeah.
Texas labor law and postings, you know, because we're in Texas. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking.
And why was
I
there
don't know why, but for some reason I didn't realize. Yeah, Maryland's another state. They're in Texas. I don't know. I'm just watching the video and I'm not really thinking about it. Yeah, wait a second. That does sound really weird. Yeah, wait a minute. Like, wait, you didn't? No, I wasn't paying attention really. I was like mentally AFK. I was like, yeah, sure. Oh, fuck.
Freshly
you
unboxed
got bamboo?
furniture
I
and
did. I got
appliances
bamboozled.
scattered throughout the mostly empty office. Not to mention, why was this on their wall?
Yeah.
On our way out, I couldn't help but notice this six-figure luxury car in the parking lot.
Probably Mr. Prada's. Yeah.
Oh, yo, I gotta ask him.
Of course.
One last thing. Is this your Range Rover? My man, don't be humble. Give us a quick whip tour. This thing's badass.
I knew it,
that's
bro.
proof of the American dream right
That's
there.
right.
The American dream's real, right? The IT staffing business was
Man.
clearly profitable, so we went to another
How
cluster
about
of
that?
suspected ghost offices. Okay, so we have slush
You can incorporate anywhere, yeah, but you can incorporate anywhere, but this is like, it's about being pregnant. This is not about incorporation.
Ink right there. There's a guy inside. Hi there.
Ooh.
Are you working on behalf of Slesha IT?
Yes.
Okay, hi there. My name's Tyler. We're conducting a workplace inspection.
Okay.
Are the other 4 engineers that work here present today?
Uh-huh.
Where are they?
In each room.
Oh, in each room?
Oh, okay.
Can you show me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. How are you doing today? Okay, who's this?
Dude.
Hi. This appeared to finally be the first company with actual H-1B Indians on site working on
Yeah, it seems like these guys just have an office. This doesn't seem too crazy at all.
their laptops as you
Yeah.
might have hoped. While they are replacing American
Yeah,
work,
you can tell that guy's... What did I just see? It's the other one. Okay, guys? It's the other one.
on site
That's
working
all.
on their
It's
laptops
the other
as
one.
you
Relax.
might have hoped. While they are replacing American workers, I guess at the very least they're real.
Are you allowed to be in here?
You guys let me in.
Who let you in?
He did.
But you told some workplace inspection, right?
Yeah, I'm conducting a workplace investigation
You're
on behalf
from
of
News,
owners.
right?
Correct.
Then how are you inside a private?
I just knocked on the door and you guys let me in.
And we would like you to go.
And I'm heading out. All right, 1300 West.
That one doesn't sound that crazy. Honestly, it just seems like, again, like, of course they're going to want him to leave if he's not the government and he's doing, like, a news thing. Like, it does seem like, I mean, at least there's guys there that are working and they're doing stuff. They're present at the building. I mean, on the scale of scams, this one's pretty low.
Walnut Hill Lane, Irving, Texas. Let's go.
At
Finding
least
an
there's
Indian
people
an
in the
office
building,
was
right,
like
guys?
A needle in a haystack. Most of the time, my knocks were met with silence and a locked door.
There you go.
American economy seemed faker to me by the second.
Sure
no one's
is.
here at either of the Pamela locations. Margins for these IT staffing companies must have been enormous.
I bet
Rent
they are.
offices purely to achieve compliance
Shrive.
on paper.
The fuck
for
is
the labor
Shrive?
condition applications they needed for their
And
H-1B
paying?
armies. 6 in office
Hi,
LCA.
did you
Global-
record your name and reason for calling? I'll see if this person is available.
There should be 6 LCAs in that office. And then I finally found another Indian whose story painted an even bleaker vision of the future. How many H-1Bs do we have in office today?
Right now, we don't have any.
We don't have any?
Actually, closing the company.
You're closing the
Oh,
company?
they're closing it.
Okay, so you have the LCAs on the wile here.
Yes.
You guys are going out of business?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear.
So
Okay.
basically, this is what happened, right? So
Yeah.
basically, we were in the business for almost 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
We filed all the H1s, but later on, like because of this AI and everything,
Yeah.
so we kind of, wrapping it up, everything, and then it's kind of, closing off.
His entire H-1B
I
staff...
think he brings up a really good point is like, what do you do with all of these people that you've imported in for cheap one-dimensional labor when you have technology that replaces them? Do they all just go back home? I mean, that's what should happen. But based off of, again, birthright citizenship, it makes it a lot harder. And this is like an
company imported
impending
from
problem.
India was now obsolete as AI became increasingly advanced. As Americans were replaced by Indians,
Yep.
the Indians were beginning to be replaced by AI.
That's
There is
right.
this misconception
There's always a
that,
bigger
like, all
fish.
the H1 guys are like they are taking the jobs.
Yeah.
The thing what I wanted
Well-
to explain is that like these are not full-time jobs, right? So they are on a specialized skills. Only then they have those jobs and get it. But if you ask me, is there an abuse? Probably I would say yes. But then if you take the percentage of it might be very less. And definitely what I would say is probably USCIS investigating all the things they have to do, all the paperwork and everything good.
Countless offices were husks of their former selves. Perhaps the IT gold rush was over.
So you're telling me that the AI is now fighting against the amount of Indian H-1Bs because it's just automating the process? I didn't expect that. I don't know why I didn't. I should have. Against the amount of So you're telling me that the AI is now fighting against the amount of Indian H-1Bs because it's just automating the process? I didn't expect that. I don't know why I didn't. I should have.
Worksite inspection.
Wow.
With signs still on the wall.
AI stands for actual Indian?
Okay. Come on in.
The paperwork on file led us on a wild goose chase to the back room.
Not a single piece of furniture here. The sign on the door. Empty room. Empty everything. Do the lights even work? Were they paying electricity?
Isn't it crazy how, you know, you had Nick Shirley doing this and now Tyler Oliveira is doing this? Why is it that there are so many of these buildings that are full of totally empty rooms and businesses that are not even being used in order to comply with some sort of government regulation that's being maliciously complied with by a group of people on foreign work visas? Like, what are we doing? What's going on? And nobody says anything. Yes, it's crazy. The United States have scammed. Yes.
They are. We'll confirm at the front desk if anyone's renting this out. How are you doing? We're conducting a worksite inspection for Anand Pag Inc. Are they paying rent currently with you guys?
They moved out like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Each ghost office left us with even more questions than we had
Who the
initially.
fuck is paying
Where
for this,
was
then?
USCIS verifying that these work sites were in fact legit and that these H-1B Indians weren't locked up in a basement somewhere being forced to code C++?
I think that they're all working remotely from home. I think that's what's probably happening. And they just use the office as like a basically business address.
52 LCAs.
That's what
3
logically
companies,
makes
1
sense.
suite.
And nobody's going to be there.
Hi there. Is
They are from
Synaptic
India?
and
You think that they're...
in Suite 100?
Wait, so you think they're in India?
Okay, is it a shared office?
Yes, it is.
A shared but empty office. Why rent out your own entire office when you could share one with several other companies? This was even more cost effective. Hello, worksite inspection. How much of the commercial real estate economy is propped up by companies like these renting out units to have a worksite on paper for their H-1B employees that are nowhere to be found? Worksite.
He's actually bringing up a very good point there, is that, like, yeah, think about how expensive real estate is, and then think about the fact that real estate is being clogged up by a bunch of people that are using it as ghost offices and not actually even being in the building.
Inspection. This country is all an illusion.
No one's around.
Yep.
So they should have 4 people working on site. Do we have anyone here today? No one? Okay.
Nobody's
so you pay them
here.
$20 a month to get an office space in the ether, maybe a mailbox, so you have paper compliance. But where are these people working? In the digital mailbox? In the cyberspace? Where are these Indians? This country is a joke, and you're living in it, and you're paying for it. This country is a joke, and you're living in it, and you're paying for it.
That's right. Yep.
Look at this. Fully empty.
Makes me sick.
Move
It
right here.
should.
We have
It's
Sapnex
ridiculous.
LLC. 3 companies are registered to this location.
3 companies.
Must be completely
So
empty.
isn't that crazy that out of 3 companies, nobody could make it to the office that day? What are the odds of that?
The office, nothing in there.
Must
Take
have been a
look.
holiday, right?
Emptiness is all I can see. We have 4 H-1Bs, and guess who comes back? Sean
And
Parvati.
also, like, by the way, it's so obviously not used Because everybody knows that in most offices, unless it's like, you know, one of these, like, you know, from software where like nobody has anything on their fucking desk. But like in a lot of these offices, people have their shit everywhere. Like even whenever I worked at the IRS, I was there for a tax season and people decorated their fucking desks. They put stuff everywhere. And like, that's another thing. If you don't see shit everywhere, the reason why is because there's nobody that works there. That's how it is. Worked in IRS? Yeah, I did.
Our same attorney is the recurring
In another
thread.
life.
He's threaded into many of these companies in different locations all across the DFW area. Could it be a coincidence? Very well could be.
Oh, I'm
it could
sure
just
it's a
be
coincidence.
The guy, the attorney.
It's a huge
the
coincidence,
Better
guys.
Call Saul of LCAs.
Yes.
So I called Sean Deparvathaneni,
Uh-oh.
an Indian immigration attorney who files LCAs and H-1B petitions on behalf of countless companies with ghost offices that I visited throughout this video. Could he perhaps explain what was going on here?
I don't
Real
think
quick,
he's going
Patreon banned me for noticing too much, so now you can support our work at tylerraw.com to get access to videos we can't upload on YouTube, exclusive
true in a lot of
bonus
cash companies.
content, and
We
early
hotel
access
desks?
to
Nobody
all
kept
of
personal
these
things on
videos
their
before
desk?
they go up on
Really?
YouTube for as low as
Okay.
$5 a month.
I've
Go
never
check
seen
it
that.
out at tylerraw.com. Thanks for your support, and back to the
Tyler
video. I just wanna ask
Raw?
you
I mean, that doesn't sound like a journalism website.
a few questions. I know I keep seeing your name pop
Yeah.
up.
Sure. And like I said, I mean, I want you to ask anything and everything because this program has a problem. You want the best for this country. I want the best for this country.
Listen, we've gone through the LCAs. I see your name pop up, over 20,000 times from 2020 through the
20,000?
end of 2025. Yeah, and you're saying the burden to update all this information is on behalf of the employer to then update you, who then complies with the paperwork and gets it all handled, right? Is that?
That is correct. And number of times we see a lot of companies don't do it, which means they're not complying.
Sure.
And my responsibility is not to go, I keep on educating them, but if they don't do it, there's a site visit and the employee is not working where they're supposed to.
So let me get this straight. So they're supposed to update you. They don't, but you can't hold them accountable. This is it's another badly designed system. This is retarded.
Non-immigrant
How do
person
you
in
do
this
this?
country. Anybody. They have to let USCIS know.
Oh my God.
It's a mandatory responsibility. The
He's not
government
the
has access
cops?
to the system.
Well, apparently nobody is. That's the problem. Is that like it would be okay if, that's not his job, somebody else does it, but nobody's doing it. That's the issue.
So when you talk about fraud, the fraud is not fraud that I know. Somebody's benched. That is where things start going haywire. The company doesn't start paying them. The employee is not working. And that is where it starts, not at the time of filing, because at the time of filing it is very easy.
Come on, Sean. Let's not be silly. But also, you could file a bunk LCA filing, right? And just put as many of those out there.
What good it would do to somebody to be obligated to say, hey, I want to pay somebody $100,000 and $30,000 in taxes? You just tell me.
I mean, let's say
They don't
get
pay the
money
taxes.
and you get a lot of it, and you don't have a moral back.
No, we don't get a lot of it. But I don't. I mean,
oh come on,
he's getting mad.
You're killing it. That's great. I mean,
No.
USA,
No.
that's awesome,
I'll
right?
tell you one.
Make that money.
It's a law firm. There are other attorneys working, and that is where the problem is. And then the fees. The fees is one of the lowest in the industries.
Come on, I know what lawyers make. Come on. For a different perspective, I want to show you an office in Plano of one of the largest IT staffing companies on earth,
That's a big
Tata
one.
Consultancy. Companies like Tata built the blueprints for these rink-a-dink mom-and-pop staffing companies with ghost offices we've been visiting. But the difference is they have real offices and real H-1B Indians doing work in the places they say they are at a massive scale.
Wow.
They proved to corporate America is that they could outsource IT work to an Indian firm like theirs, get the job done with H-1B workers at a fraction of the cost of directly hiring Americans, and they could hold their H-1B Indian Army captive due to their visa being tied to them. Ultimately, companies like Tata are at the forefront of the replacement of skilled American laborers in exchange for cheaper, interchangeable, and captive H-1B Indians. For example, in 2015, the last job of IT workers for Disney World Orlando was to train their
250.
H-1B replacements in 90 days that had been brought over by Cognizant. If these employees didn't train their new replacements, they were not eligible for bonuses or their severance packages.
So in order to get your package for being fired, you have to train your replacement. So in order to get your package for being fired, you have to train your replacement. it's crazy to me because like some people think that the American companies are somehow like on like America's side or in the best interest of the American voter. Like, make no mistake. I mean, these problems are started, engineered, designed for, and in the best interest of big companies that gain a huge advantage from it. That's it. They're the ones that are getting money out of this. They're the ones that are the winners.
In fact, big outsourcing firms like Tata rarely even bother to sponsor green cards and often just import a new wave of H-1B Indians to replace the previous one once their visa expires. I pulled up to one of these outsourcing firms' offices in Plano just to see the H-1B Indian spawner hole in the flesh.
A spawner?
Hi. We're here to verify that 12 of the LCAs filed on behalf of 12 H-1B employees are on site and they have the paperwork on the wall.
Yeah, where are they?
Okay, let me look for one.
Excuse me, do you work on behalf of Tata? Yeah. Are you H-1B? Yeah. Okay.
What a surprise.
This place was teeming with Indians whose sole job was to replace you lazy Americans watching this
That's
video.
right.
Hi, my name's Tyler.
Well, do you have an appointment or pre-approval?
No appointment needed. Thanks so much. What is your name? Are you the manager?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would like to know things, right? That's the reason I'm asking you.
The music again.
Have a great day.
Keep in mind, these H-1B employees are on non-immigrant work visas. They are temporary guests.
Don't shoot us, please.
Okay, no worries.
No, what is this for?
I've never seen an instance of a person blocking a camera that wasn't probably doing something wrong. It seems like every single time that somebody does that, there's a reason for it.
Conducting a worksite inspection. Here to verify a few things. We'll be out of the office.
Okay, I wouldn't do that.
And pursuant to 20 CFR section 655.760, any member of the public can demand the public access file, and failure to make this information available within 1 working day is a violation.
Actually,
trouble.
Imagine if you came to another country on a temporary visa and started smacking people's cameras. Give me a break.
Do you work here?
Yes, I will.
Okay, what's your name? We just want to see if the LCAs that have been filed for the
aggroed
H-1Bs
them.
here are publicly visible to the employees here. They should be on the wall.
If you were USCIS or you're an agent, if you were government, we'd absolutely let you in. You're not, so we're not going to allow that.
As per 20 CFR 655, H-1B labor condition application regulations and 8 USC 1182N, you guys need to show the paperwork.
We would, to a government agency.
That's not what the law says.
Okay, you can take that up with our immigration office.
We will, yeah.
We're in Rockville, Maryland.
Sure.
they're in Maryland.
Okay. Well, thanks for popping your head out. You are not in compliance.
You know what else was in Maryland is that that paper that was on the wall. Seems very interesting. Probably a coincidence, but 2 points on a graph make a line. Interesting.
We appreciate your time.
2010 West Spring Creek Parkway, 4 IT staffing companies,
Interesting.
95 total LCAs, 38 H-1B conversions.
There is no one home.
Hello?
Hi. Doing good. Ever seen anyone come in here? There should be 18 people working out of here.
18?
Yeah.
There's 5 of us, but we can work from home.
This doesn't even have enough room for 5 people, much less 18.
Worksite inspection.
We have a building permit signage here indicating this place has been under renovation or construction since March 6, 2025, where if the employee's gone to work
a
the
year,
last
that's
year,
not too
according
bad.
to what I'm seeing here, there should be 34 people working on site.
Your call has been forwarded to the voicemail for no one is available to take your call.
And the difference between what a real H-1B worksite should look like compared to all of these ghost offices or seemingly staged worksites was immediately apparent.
And again, it's all about the real estate space. Think about how much space that we don't have in America for actual real businesses because these people want to fill up these commercial buildings with fake businesses so they can all work from home. It's retarded.
Hey, are you Siusa? Siusa Inc.? Siusa?
Yes.
How many people are on site right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Where are you from, by the way?
From Germany.
Germany, okay. We do need to see those LCAs, though, and then we're out of your hair.
Idris, I can forward this email document to you, and
Yeah, that's fine. I'll write down. I mean, listen, hear me out. I know you have attorney-client privilege. Just be real with me, though. You meet these guys. They talk to you. How often do you think you're signing off on fraud?
Zero.
Now that you've seen some of these options.
He's never signed off on fraud in his life. He hates fraud. He doesn't want to have anything to do with fraud. He says, fuck fraud. That's why he's here, to stop the fraud. What do you mean? Of course.
The doors, the empty offices.
He's that guy. He's the one standing in the way of the fraud.
3 p.m.
The complete shell
If it wasn't for him, there'd be fraud.
Employees. No one can find where they work. You really think it's zero?
If you say that is there fraud that is found after the fact, yes.
There should be 3 people for Widespan LLC on site. There should be 1 person on site for Upward Innovations LLC. There should be 2 people on site for NK Technolabs.
There's like hardly anybody here today.
I'll tell you what USCIS does sometimes. USCIS will come back and say, hey, we went to an address. This employee does not work over there. What exactly is going on? We want to revoke your H-1B. And then I go back to the employer. Hey, this is what USCIS has found. Now there's a problem. Do you have, what exactly happened? Because
and then they tell you that, oh, I was just sick that day and I actually work there. And then this guy says, oh, okay, I understand that. And then you don't revoke it. Like, I mean, it's so obvious what's probably going on here, right? Yeah, he's in on it. I think so.
You have to find out. Does it always mean there is fraud? No, because I'll tell you an example where it might not be fraud. A guy is working in Verizon, for example, in Dallas as a software developer, 6 months contract, and they reassign him to another project for, say, Dr. Pepper, again in Dallas.
Okay.
If somebody is still working, still getting paid the same salary, still in the same role, you can change the work site. That is not a material change.
But you would have
so
to
when you get an
amend the
RFP,
LCA,
you talk.
right?
No, not it is not a material change. But if it is Dallas to Dallas, it is not a material change. It's just a different work site in the same city.
UCSIS would need to verify the work site exists, the person exists, they're in the country, they're at the place they've stated they should be.
So what he's saying is that they hire people from one location and then they all just go somewhere else. And because it's not a city change, that it's okay for them to be in a different place than where they work at. And then obviously, like, they say they're at another office, but they're probably at their house. Like, that's probably what's going on.
Not be a
pretty
problem.
much. That's what I'm thinking.
Have rules. If it is a different metropolitan
Stupid system.
statistical area,
Yeah,
it is a material change. Instead of working in Dallas, somebody moved to Austin, that is a material change.
UCSIS should be able to point at and say the guy works here, right?
Oh yes, and sometimes the worksite changes. This third-party consulting, the worksite could keep changing, because in this case, the same LCA. Yeah, and that is the problem, and that is what I'm saying. And this is what people.
Complete lack of transparency. That's wild to me. That's mind-blowing, actually. What Chand revealed to me is that employers have zero legal obligation to amend the LCA if the H-1B employee is working within the same metropolitan statistical area. This Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington metroplex encompasses...
So it's designed in a way that they can just fill up an office and then never actually... Okay.
13 North Texas counties,
wow.
9,286 square
That's not
miles,
good practice.
with more
It's
than
designed
200
that way.
incorporated
That's
cities
the way it's
and
made.
towns. So an IT staffing company like the ones we've seen can file an LCA listing at a ghost office in Frisco and then freely move that H-1B worker to a client site in downtown Dallas, Arlington, Fort Worth, Plano, Irving,
How do I
McKinney,
get in on this?
Denton,
You
or
can't.
any of the 200-plus cities and towns across 13 counties without ever filing a new LCA or amending the H-1B petition.
See,
So-
this is, and you have to think about it. I mean, these people are just simply taking advantage of a system. This system is obviously broken. It's very clearly and obviously broken. Like, you have him explain this, and it's like, yeah, there's something wrong here. So why isn't it being fixed? That should be the question.
On a day-to-day basis,
Destroy a system.
USCIS
Yeah, it's a
does
bad
not
system.
know where the employee works. The DOL doesn't know. The client is not required to report anything
By the way,
to
there are
anyone.
50
and the
examples
system,
of this.
by design,
More than that.
is blind as to where this H-1B employee
Thousands,
actually
probably.
works, allowing plenty of room
These,
for
like,
things like
weird loopholes.
underpayments, misrepresented job duties, and proxy work from India going unnoticed.
The contract is what shows there is availability of work. The problem with fraud, the contract is for 6 months. Everything goes good. Then what? Is somebody on the bench? That is fraud. Is the employer not paying the employee? That is fraud. That is where there is a big problem with H-1B. That is where all the fraud starts. And like you said, hey, this company doesn't exist now. When we call, there's no company. For example, on the day they filed, no, the company was there. Otherwise, because USCIS has their own big check, they will catch in 1 minute if the company doesn't exist. So I don't think the fraud is at that point. The fraud, maybe 6 months, 1 year when the project is over, the company is not paying this guy this salary, and this employee is not getting paid, the guy is getting benched. That is where all the fraud starts. And now, like you said, clearly, how do you detect that fraud? In my opinion,
obvious.
the government has access to the databases. Click up a button.
While listening to
And the thing is that he's right. That's what's so funny, is that It's so obvious what the problem is. It's just that nobody wants to fix it. I don't. Can't you just make it to where the address itself would be a material change period rather than just the city? I mean, like, you just change the way that things are applied and it would be solved. But they're not complying also? Well, yeah, but like, I mean, but they are complying. That's the problem.
It's clear the system, by design, demands little to no real transparency and heavily relies on the employer operating in good faith. Clearly, USCIS was not inspecting all of these work sites to verify their legitimacy, really well. Begging the question, where are these Indians? I feel like I'm in a library right now. Icon IT Solutions, here you are.
Are we talking about an entire empty building full of fake offices? Like, I mean, Icon Solutions?
13 LCAs.
Oh my God.
Open up, goddammit. Okay, next. Beyond. Hello? Is this ESK?
Oh, there's somebody. Hey.
Okay, hi. My name's Tyler.
Hey, man.
Good to meet you. What do you guys do?
It's a software development.
Okay. Where do you guys put your LCAs, your H1Bs?
H1Bs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like H1B guy?
Yes.
Are you from ICE?
No. We're just doing a little video.
Oh, okay. H1B guys, like these guys are...
Yeah, this guy seems legit. I mean, they got a ping pong table. They're watching TV. They've got bullshit around here. This looks like a legit office, actually. To me, it does.
Yes, because we keep showing up to like empty offices. You're the first office we've shown up to with human life.
Yeah, you can pick out.
We can check it out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Hi.
And this is my office. We don't have much H1Bs.
Yeah.
I think only three H1.
Three.
You said you know how these guys operate, like a minute ago.
No. I mean, like, most of them, the offices are empty.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. So I want to make sure we make the difference because we've knocked on a few.
Is he going to give away the game?
That appear to be like shell offices, like ghost offices.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that term?
I'm familiar with the sale companies, but not familiar with a lot of people here because I don't talk with a lot of neighbors.
Yeah, because they're not there.
Why do some people rent out the offices?
I wonder why.
But they never actually show up, never do any work.
Maybe most of them work remotely because most of the IT works are remote.
Okay.
But I don't allow actually to do the remote work. I prefer my guys to be here.
Okay, thanks again.
Thank you.
Hey, enjoy the game. See you guys. This guy brought up a good point. What
Good for them.
happens when our H1B prodigies are working remotely from home? I pulled up to Houston and met up with Nick Plum, a former Amazon L7 engineer laid off by Amazon, who has been speaking out against the Indianification of America. We began our inspection of an apartment complex with several H1B work sites listed as the apartments these Indians lived in. They're required to have a public access file available the moment an LCA is filed.
I think I know which one it is.
At the employer's work site within 1 day of filing. Let's see who has their paperwork in order.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm an office call.
Tyler. How are you?
I'm good.
Do you want to show
That's
me?
not an office. I'm an office call.
Okay.
Okay. We're here to review your public access files because this is a corporate work site for foreign workers. You should have your LCAs posted and your public access files available for review. Do you have those available for review?
Hi.
Hello.
Daima?
Good
Good to meet you, Tyler. You work on behalf of Cognizant?
Yes, I do.
You should have a public access file for review.
I mean, I think it's a little bit unfair. I mean, like, most people aren't wearing shoes in their own, like, I don't wear shoes in my own house. I'm not wearing shoes right now. Like, I don't think, there's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, it's not. This is unfair. It's unfair.
What do you mean by the public access file?
So what it includes is the LCA, your labor condition application. It includes
just my opinion.
Wage study, whatever your job is.
Just what I think.
You'd like to have.
Sure.
Okay. So this is my website.
What you're really seeing here is how rare USCIS compliance is, and how before remote work was common, at least you had a corporate office where the public access file could be filed and LCA notices could be posted on a wall. When the H-1B's worksite is now just this guy's apartment, all of this info becomes harder to verify and easier to fake. While the Department of Labor doesn't have enough resources for in-person audits like these, they did create a provision to allow members.
It's not that bad, guys. Like, you're giving them a hard time over nothing. I mean, really? I mean, what? What's one roach in the house? I mean, come on, guys.
members of the public to demand the same info. The only problem is nobody ever does. And of course, we stumbled into this engineer vibe
Could be a
coding
good
in real
roach.
time. Just look at this guy's screen.
By law, you should have it here physically ready for me.
So most of the PWD petitions I have, right?
Okay.
And whatever benefits like medical, vision, and then dental, all those medicals, whatever has been provided as part of my LCR petitions. So I do have it.
We will be reporting that we were unable to review the public access file locally.
Yeah.
So what's your job title?
Yeah.
My job title is senior manager.
I'm glad to see that there's more like citizen journalism about this. And I think this needs to have an even bigger focus. Like a lot of people, like this will only stop happening when people stop it from happening. And the problem now is that nobody actually wants to go out and take any action on this. They just let it happen and things just keep getting worse.
For a client called Marriott Hotel.
California's making it illegal? Well, yeah, of course.
They had your client secured before your arrival into the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my second client.
Okay.
My first client.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, the guy's house is a shithole. It is. But, like, my house is a shithole, too. Like, I can't really criticize that. It is what it is.
Energy. It's an energy company. Cognizant is my
Just what I
employer.
think.
Sure.
They have the right to hire, fire.
You want to talk?
Sure.
No, it's not. What the fuck? There's food everywhere. There's shit drawn over the walls. The paintings, I think, are like they're tacked to the wall. There's roaches there. It's a shithole, man. It's a shithole. If there's anybody that knows shitholes, I know shitholes. Come on.
I'm enjoying my medical benefits, 401k. Cognizant is giving me the stocks at the discounted
I'm the expert.
price.
Doing all of
Yes,
this.
maybe.
Okay.
Yes.
Your standards are too high?
I'm rolling it.
Hey.
Yes, I have a family. I'm using medical.
Cool.
The computer that he was working on looked it was like a $299 HP computer. We come in, we see ChatGPT up on the screen. He's not.
Is that ChatGPT? No, I think that's actually Gemini. So, yeah. So it's Microsoft Cope. Oh, is that a new one? I don't know that.
He's not doing anything.
Okay.
I think the biggest myth that we have is this high-skilled immigration thing. Sure. I think it's a lie. I think most of the immigration that we're getting is not highly skilled. Try to quantify. I'd say 70% of the folks that I actually saw hired and worked around couldn't do the job. Okay. When we needed the top tier, actually saw hired and worked. Try to quantify. I'd say 70% of the
70%
folks that I actually saw hired and worked around couldn't do the job. Okay. When we needed the top tier engineer, they worked in Ireland. It's like it's just easier to hire. You know, you've got a network of people that are willing to relocate. If I'm sitting here in Texas, not paying taxes, I may not want to relocate to California.
Yeah, sure.
But if I'm sitting in India and I want to do anything I can in my power to get out of India, I'm willing to relocate to California, pay those taxes and the high utility bills, etc.
Better than fucking India.
Classically trained in computers. I self-taught effectively, and I did that through on-the-job training. You know, like if you're a pretty smart person, which a lot of Americans are, we're not doing things that are super complex, right? Sure. Business analytics you can learn, and especially with AI now, you don't have to have years of training learning how to write SQL. You know, you can, hey Grok, help me understand how to join these tables, or write a query to do this. What we're not seeing is that shift away from a foreign reliance on labor into like adapting our new technology and understanding that these aren't critical skills anymore. They're not unique skills. Like we're not getting super geniuses.
Do you think the companies need to hire U.S. citizens or U.S. workers before they go about and hire somebody in H-1B?
Yes.
The current rules?
Yes.
Unfortunately, no. The answer is no, which is where the biggest problem is.
I see.
And that is what I want to highlight.
What's so crazy is they literally explain what the scam is. They explain how it's happening, and then it just keeps happening. There's never any sort of resolution to it. It's like, yeah, this is the way it works, and then we take advantage of it this way, and then, well, they don't check this, so then you can go inside of this area. Oh my God!
Every American, right? You would hope they would assess the American workforce before we start scouring overseas, right? We're seeing graduates come out of a 4-year college degree and are unable to find a job like what this guy was working. Is this guy vastly more talented than the graduate that's coming out of college? Is it just because he already has 10 years of experience? He's the go-to hire?
I mean, our college graduates are competing with a system that is built to disadvantage them. To be.
Thank you. Fucking patriot. Thank God we have people realizing this. It is designed to fuck you over.
And here's the ways, right? Like, I can write a job posting and I can require 10 different tech skills. One of them may be 8 years old. It's antiquated.
Sure.
But by adding this antiquated requirement onto a job posting, any recent grad is not going to have that. Now I can filter them out as a technical recruiter.
Sure. And if you're not getting algorithmically
That's an advanced scam. I never even thought of that. It's like, what, asking people for COBOL? Like, yeah, like if you don't have gray hair, you probably don't know how to do COBOL.
filtered out of job postings on LinkedIn, you can find job postings online hiring H-1Bs only.
Exactly.
What a racket. Hi there. How are you? Do you know where Suite 678 might be? It might not even be in here.
It's a mailbox. It's not an actual physical.
It's a mailbox.
Oh,
okay,
mailbox.
So, yeah, we're just trying to confirm.
And see if they're actual suites.
Yes.
Yeah.
678 is the first one.
Anything that's over a 200 is not going to be here.
Okay, so 534.
No.
That's not
they're
there.
reporting there's people working at that mailbox. Like they work inside that mailbox then.
Can we look inside the mailbox? Are there any people inside the mailbox?
7?
No, these are all like literal mailboxes that I put pieces of mail in and I take.
Bro, I'm unemployed with 7+ years tech industry experience, and I know this video personally. Well, hey, listen, at least somebody from India is able to live your dream, because you think about it, right? And so, really, if your life is worse, but their life is better, there's really not a difference there. So the world really didn't get any better or worse. It just changed. So you're actually kind of selfish in a way for even having a problem with it. Yeah, I don't know why you're so what do you want them to die?
24.
Anything over 200 is not going to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, and just so you're aware, they're reporting to the USCIS that there are humans working inside these mailboxes.
Well, if they can fit in a mailbox this size, then sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, we have our answers. There was zero level of scrutiny at play here.
Zero.
What is our economy? But what happens when an Indian comes?
This is one thing that a lot of people are going to start realizing, I think, the more this is discussed, is that so much of our economic structure is based off of a house of cards. I think this is a great example of it.
Here on an F1 visa to study with the hopes of getting an H-1B visa and eventually a green card, and things don't go according to plan. Raj, why are you here in Texas? What's going on?
I just came for my my further studies, like masters. I'm from India. I'm coming from Mumbai. Mumbai is my home country.
Nice place.
That's why I like this country.
Do you like USA or India more?
India more, but for my further studies, I have to come here.
And how difficult was it for you to move your whole life to the USA and come study here?
It's really challenging. When I'm coming to here, it's gonna be a long story behind that. I have to do a lot of interviews, and it's gonna be depend on them. If they want to give them a visa or not, it's a really big story. We have to do a lot of hard work on that. Even when we came here, we don't know where we have to live, what is going to be happening here, nothing, we don't know.
And how old are you?
I'm just like 23.
Keep in mind that the main group of people that benefits from this inside of the American ecosystem are top 1% business owners. Like the elite class, business owner class are the ones that really benefit from this. Nobody else benefits from it. Low-class people don't benefit from it. Middle-class people don't benefit from it. Even a lot of upper-class people don't really benefit from it unless they're kind of getting second-order effects from, like, maybe cheaper products. But, they don't need to worry about the price anyway.
It's a country that we can just make our future, we can study, and do hard work.
Yeah.
If we work here, we can get a good jobs and everything. But from our heart, we are connected to our country. And there are lots of Indians. They are doing a lot of things to do to stay here legally.
Where do you live? Do you live with like roommates?
Yeah, I live with my roommates. Before we are going to live, when I came here, it was like a really tough thing. That's why in a 2-bedroom hall, we are living like 10 members.
10 people?
Yeah,
What
to
the
save our money.
fuck?
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Holy
really hard working at
shit.
the time.
So how did these folks get brought here? Well, that's where I started to tie it together to what I was seeing.
And
at
that's
work.
the other thing, is that a lot of these people are living like him. Like, they're not living the American dream. They're being taken advantage of. Now, I know he's a student, but many other people are not. So it's, again, not even the people that are Indian are gaining from this, right? It's the same as like the illegal aliens. Like, yes, maybe you're getting paid more than you would where you were from, but you're not being paid how much you should be getting paid. So the only person that like just, you know, universally gains from this are the business owners.
We had a major hub in Dallas.
And there is
on my
also,
team that were hired
sorry,
in
I don't want to pause again, but I will. There is a confluence and a converge here with left-wing and right-wing people that support this malicious compliance. Like Greg Abbott supports it, Trump supports it. You know, like left-wing people support it as well. There is a universal opinion on this that it is positive. Like, I think it's one of Trump's biggest L's, if you want me to be honest. I think it's a massive L. I think it's selling out the American people.
H-1Bs to work in Dallas.
It's
Well,
bad.
they have children.
It's not
And
partisan.
those children
Yeah, this
get
is not a
visa
partisan
called the
issue.
H-4 visa. Their spouses
Very
get the H-4 visa. I don't know, maybe that like the missing point for a lot of people here is when you're on an H-4 visa and you go to high school in Texas and you graduate from high school in Texas, you were not an international student. So there's guardrails in place at places like UT to ensure that you don't have these massive demographic changes. Well, those guardrails fail when all of a sudden these folks are classified as residents.
Yep.
I find it very interesting, Tyler, that we have folks on H-1Bs acting as technical recruiters. The person doing the vetting is, you know, they're not American. They don't have that, I don't know, underlying, like, for the home team, skin in the game.
Most people that come from, let's say, Mumbai, do they have plans of staying longer?
Most of our from my country, they just focus on like just we will get our degree and we will come back. But the thing is that they are not thinking to go back to our country. Why? Because the thing is that in our country there are jobs, there are a lot of jobs, but what they pay, they are not satisfied with that pay.
So if everything
And this
goes...
is another thing too, is that what you're really seeing is people are not leaving their country because of war. They're not leaving their country because of some sort of like a genocide or something like that going on. They're just leaving their country so they can make more money in our country, which is like, in a way it's okay. But the problem is that whenever you have a huge population of people that see your country as just purely an economic zone, this is not something that's good long-term for a country. It's just not.
Your way, would you like to be a permanent citizen here?
It's not only my dream. Everyone dreams like that to get a green card or citizen, permanent residence in United States of America. Why? Because we already spent our like 3 years here.
What do our college graduates lack? Is it tenacity and skill and intellect? Are Americans stupid, Nick?
Wow. I mean, I think we're naive. I'll be honest. I think we've operated
True.
in a high trust society for a very long
Oh, bro, he's going there. Yes.
time. Like I mean, as a father of kids, I raised them to do the right thing, to work hard, to go to school, to get the good grades.
Do
and
the
I
right
used to tell
thing.
them, like, if you grind, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like to get the good grades.
Do
and
the right
I used to tell
thing.
them, like, if you grind, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, that we are
The
American.
thing is that, like, growing up, I was never taught that. My dad always told me, you've got to do whatever the fuck you possibly can to get ahead, because if you don't, they will. And that was it. And I think that really, if you look at a lot of people that are taught, like, oh, well, just work hard and you're going to succeed, that's something to tell somebody to make yourself feel good. Not to help them, but to make yourself feel good.
Autocracy. I actually am.
That's right, he was.
I've changed my messaging to them.
Yeah. What is the messaging now?
Well, now it's
A, B, C.
You need to do the right thing, but you also have to understand you are competing in a system that is built structurally to disadvantage you.
How much money does it cost for you to come all the way from Mumbai to Houston, Texas?
To here, I already spent like 35, almost 40K, $48,000.
So that's a lot of money in India.
a lot of money.
How do most people afford to get here?
Everyone do like that. They have some savings in our country. Some savings like out their fathers or something. They have some gold or something. They are struggling hard to get
78% of wealthy Indian parents send kids abroad, risking retirement savings. I mean, I don't blame them, right? I mean, like, if I was rich in India, I'd want my kid to go somewhere that was a lot nicer. Sure, I mean, I get it. I understand that completely. Sure.
The job here. They are selling their homes in our country to only just to visit the United States of America. They are selling homes. They are selling their like
Send the kids abroad
savings
for
and everything,
education.
the gold and everything. And when they are coming here, they are not satisfied. Why? Because after all these things, the IT job market is no more.
oversaturated.
No, we are not getting a good jobs and nothing like that.
Who benefits from importing infinite labor
Business
from
owners.
all over the planet?
I mean, I think there's a bunch of beneficiaries to this.
Who's winning right now?
Yeah, well, it's not the youth.
Sure.
It's not the American worker. It is big capital. These
right.
folks don't have freedom of movement.
That's right.
If they're let go, they have 60 days to find a new job, or they have to leave the country, or really what ends up happening is they just change status to a new visa.
Yeah.
But they should leave the country.
If you can't get a job in IT, what's your plan?
The last option, if I will not get a job, like even I also find a girl on the dating places.
Many nice Indian
The
girls.
fucking dream.
No, not an Indian girls.
Who?
One white and one Mexican. You know, white women, they are not like a greedy. Some of them like a greedy, but everyone not is greedy. But in Mexicans,
Yeah? Is that right?
like a greedy. Some of them like a greedy, but everyone not is greedy. But in Mexicans, you cannot trust them.
What have you seen?
Not trust
What have they done to you?
What did they do
One
to
of
you?
my friend is sorry. So he's just thinking to what to
Yeah.
do, and he's trying to get a jobs and a lot of things. After that, all the hard working, he's not getting a job. So
Right.
he find a girl. So first my friend said, "Oh, I like you. Can
Right.
I get your number or something?"
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they went for the dates and everything. My
That's good.
friend he said to their Mexican girls, "Oh, can I ask you for the favor? It's not only my favor, it's your too." Why? Because you are struggling hard, so it's really good for you too. So can we do like a marriage just to fix my papers?
Sure.
So she said, "Yeah, okay then."
Did they get married?
Yeah, they get married, and the thing is that after
What?
they're getting married, and she said, "I have some conditions. Like when she's going to sign the papers, she wants like $5,000 in her first month."
Based Latinas. I gotta say it. That's smart.
Like, well, let's look at Amazon, right? They laid off 16,000 people January 28th, 14,
Extorted,
15,000 in
yeah.
October. I am sure those were
Scammer
not
got scammed,
only
exactly.
Americans. In fact, I know of at least one that wasn't an American. Now, the difference between her and I is I'm sitting here, right? I'm not worried about being deported. My visa's not going to get lapsed.
Yeah.
And these folks, I mean, they bought cars on 5-year notes. Their entire family will be uprooted. They may even have a kid here that's now an American by birthright citizenship. When someone has that much to
Big
lose,
problem.
you can really compel them to do anything you want.
Then you see them giving up.
I'm glad that he's able to identify that, because that's another huge problem too. Where obviously if you have this, imbalance of power where the employer not only controls now your job, but they control your entire destiny in the country, that gives the employer way more power to negotiate different terms for that employment. And it's unfair.
everything in
Very
order
big problem.
to fulfill this dream or get their kids from this status of being lower or middle class to upper middle class and beyond. They may sell the family farm for all that, right?
Back home, their families are becoming millionaires, so to speak.
Oh yeah, multimillionaires, right? They're wealthy, and so I think we just
More wealth redistribution away from the United States.
sort of we created that gold rush.
And this is a torta. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
And after that, she is telling.
I love
like,
how he
this
knew
is
what it
my
was,
first
too.
Thing. This is my first condition, and now listen my second condition. Every month you have to pay me like on the payments, like every month $1,000. After that, in addition to you have to pay some of my rent, some of my bills.
So it's like a real marriage now.
Yeah, but she don't want to sleep with my friend.
And she doesn't want to have sex.
Yeah,
dude. This is outrageous.
No, she don't want anything.
Oh, she just wants the money.
Just want money. Even
She just wants the money.
They got married.
Yeah.
At the time, he already gave $5,000 to her.
He's really living the American dream, huh?
After she receiving $5,000, she is like disappear. She's
Oh,
not
yeah.
responding. She's not receiving the calls and everything.
Right.
She's just ignoring him. When she needs the money, when she gets a time for her payment, she's calling. Oh, where are you? He asks for the money. Where is my payment for this month? I'm doing your work from last 2 days and you're not paying for me. When she got her money for the payment, for the first payment month, then she
disappeared again?
She did the same thing.
She'll come back the next month for more money. And this friend, this isn't about you?
The thing...
You're not the friend, right?
No. No.
I'm the person.
You...
It was me all along. Wow.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This happened to
Man.
I heard I did a lot of hard work, like 8 to 9 months to get that money, and the beach she took in 2 months.
How is it being an Indian in 2026 here in Texas?
Well, he's living the American nightmare now. So you're married to a foreign wife that doesn't love you, won't have sex with you, and only interacts with you for money. All right, well, it's a different kind of American dream.
They are thinking like they are seeing us like they are thinking, oh, Indians, you are Indians, you are not our category. You just be aside. One homeless came to my store. And he's telling me like he's asking me, oh, can I get the lighter? I said, okay, you have to pay for that lighter. He's telling me like, this is my country. I'm just fed up with these things.
Really?
Yeah. From only just from 2 months. What I say.
You ruined the whole experience.
All the things, all the dreams.
Yeah.
I once talked to a guy, 27 years in the United States, not a citizen. And I'm not saying they should be citizens. I'll be real clear. I think they should have departed after 3 years, period. But they've been here, bound to their employer. That's a shit system. It doesn't benefit anybody. And then we have to think about the problems that it gives to their kids. You know, they come over here with their kid. Their kid can stay on the H4 until they're 21. They age out of the system. Now, maybe they have to move back to India where they don't have any family. There's no angle that you can take that says this H-1B is good unless you are big capital.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's not.
GDP goes up.
GDP goes up.
And I read today that there is 104 million people that are not employed or seeking employment in the United States right now.
The needs
It's a lot
shall
of people.
inherit the earth.
Are we in too deep?
We probably are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the depressing thing.
I think we need to pause all H-1Bs.
Moratorium.
Damn. You have to look
That's what I
at
said.
illegal immigration versus legal immigration.
Sure.
And right now, I think the nation, by the mandate that was given to Trump in the House in Congress when we, was 2024.
That's been squandered,
it
by
showed
the
that
way.
we had the appetite. We wanted mass deportations. We wanted to, end illegal immigration. But now here we are, a couple years into it. You hear the messaging changing away from mass deportations to only criminals. The reason I bring that up is if you don't have the appetite to handle illegal immigration correctly or, authoritatively, you're not.
See, this is the problem, is that, like, he's totally right about this, is that everybody wants to do this until they see what doing it is. Like, mass deportations and removing illegal aliens is tearing apart families. It is rounding up kids. It is, like basically alligator Alcatrazes all over the country. If you don't want that, you don't want mass deportations. You can't say that you don't like illegal immigration and then say that you don't like the solution to illegal immigration. Obama didn't care. Obama didn't do enough.
To have the appetite to do what needs to happen to put the genie back in the bottle for the legal aspect. Any of those guys that are simping for the Indians or the immigration lawyers, you. This is America. This is my nation. This is my kids' inheritance.
That's right.
You. The system is broken and we need to fix it.
In my exit interview, they go, hey, we're replacing you guys. We're getting rid of the whole team and we're replacing you guys with Indians. Yeah, I swear to God. I look them dead in the eye and go, you guys know I'm Indian, right? Like, no, you don't get it. We're getting rid of you. We're moving the job to India to be done by Indians from India who live there, who will do it cheaper. And in that moment, I turned into every one of your fathers. I was like, these goddamn Indians are taking our jobs.
You can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
Bro, I don't know why he said that. Was one of the dumbest fucking things he said, man. It was so fucking stupid. I was shocked that he said that. And again, I'm going to link you guys the video. I mean, this is a long video. I wanted to watch it. And again, I think this problem is a lot bigger than what people realize. I do. And I think what's going to happen more and more is that as you start seeing more citizen journalism like this, you're going to start seeing this manifesting all over inside of the country. Is that this is happening inside of medicine, it's happening inside of childcare, it's happening in IT, and what do you think the odds are that it's happening everywhere else? And so the fifth guy's name, what is this? Okay. So many companies propped up by bullshit. Yeah, exactly. And they're all benefiting from it, so they don't say anything about that. Trump is Epstein class confirmed, doesn't care about deportations. Well, I think, again, like, Trump is very much an imperfect actor, right? I mean, Trump's better than Kamala Harris, but he's not doing a lot of the things that I think that he should be doing. And so I feel like that's been a problem for quite a while. And it's been a problem. Bro named Skooma. Yeah, sure. He increased the price of H-1B by 100K or something like that. And that's good. I'm happy about that. It's very good. But there are also other things that I think could be a lot better. And what I think has happened so far is that it's very weird to me because it's like everybody knows these scams exist. Everybody knows what the problem is. Everybody knows where the problem is, but nobody wants to actually solve it. And the problem that I have is that you have all these people that want to talk a big game, but whenever things actually get serious and there are actions being taken, now they're terrified of it. It's like the whole, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Then you have to bomb Iran because they're going to make one unless you do it. Well, you can talk to them. They're not listening. They're going to do it anyway. They're going to say they're not doing it, then they're going to do it. Or deportations. This is another one. Well, what do you think deportations look like? It means going to people's work, dragging them out of their fucking house, and then taking their shit and putting them in a camp until you deport them. That's what it means. And so if you're not willing to do that, you fundamentally are not, you actually don't believe what you're saying. You actually don't care, or you only care to the extent, and this is also a major problem with what we have, is that people are way too controlled by the emotional outrage from, I would say, far left people. Like the moment that far left people go into like a frenzy over something, a lot of right-wing people think, oh my God, okay, well, I have to listen to them. No, you don't. They're a bunch of mentally unstable, SSRI addicted, middle-aged, screaming, hysterical women. No, you don't. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to care about them. You don't have to take them seriously. You don't have to look at their point of view. It's all completely worthless. It is a temper tantrum. So just ignore it. But the problem is that, sorry, not addictive. Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe they're addicted to something else. So, and this is the problem, because they're nuts and violent. Well, then just go and round them up and arrest them. Like, that's what's easy about, see, the solution to this is so easy. But, and again, also, if you're going to arrest the violent protesters, you are going to have people die. I guarantee you will have people die, because somebody will escalate it, an error will be made, a gun will be drawn, and it will be shot. That's what's going to happen, because it is human error. That's just the way it is. So the problem with this is that you have an overwhelming amount of people that want to talk about how bad the problem is, but they're unwilling to take the actions to solve the problem. That's the issue that I have. That's the problem that I have with it, more than anything else. Then the judges let them out? Yeah, but then you go after the judges. But then they say, oh, you can't do that. Why not? Just do it. And so this is the issue, is that people are mentally controlled, and they've been ideologically captured by ideas, systems, and designs that are made intentionally to subvert them. But they don't realize that, and so they have to keep living inside of the lines. It's a box that your enemy has drawn for you. Why would you do this? It drives me fucking crazy. I don't understand it at all. We can't do it because we don't have 50 years of institutional power. They do. You just do it. You just do it. It's like whenever they shut down USAID, do you know how they did that? They went in there and they stopped the payments and they told everybody to get the fuck out. You're gone. It's actually so easy. The problem is that people are unwilling to take the action. That's the main issue. They're unwilling to take the action, and because they're unwilling to take the action, things just continuously get worse. Yes, you just flip the switch. It's actually that easy. And look at El Salvador. You just do it politically? Well, I mean, as long as you can do it, period, that's what matters. And if you go after the ones funding it, like Cognizant and Amazon, then you really solve it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They do have to go after them. And they are the ones that benefit from it more than anything else. Most people are scared to solve problems because doing so is hard emotionally. Yeah, they're scared to solve problems because in the process of solving those problems,
Women are now raising the men that they hate dating in the modern dating market. That's what it is. These modern day feminists are raising the men that they hate dating. And then they wonder why the dating pool's so bad. They're like, well, I can't stand this. This whole raising feminist boys thing is going viral right now, so I wanted to cover it.
My 12-year-old son is constantly trying to poke holes in my theory that everybody should be a feminist. And he came in today and said, Mom, will you believe me that men don't have it easier than women because they get drafted into the army? And I said, well, that's a really good point, buddy. What do you think about the fact that men are the ones that are starting the wars that are drafting other men? And he said,
yeah, I know, but that to me, that's like a logical fallacy. That's not that's not actually a solid argument. And I actually watched this video first before I reacted to it because I wanted to kind of dissect it a little bit. But I asked ChatGPT, in proportion to the men that have led versus the women that have led, who's actually started more wars? So some historical research suggests that female rulers proportionally were at least as likely, and in some studies more likely, to engage in wars than male rulers. It doesn't mean women are more warlike. It usually reflects political incentives and historical context. A widely cited study of European monarchs from 1480 to 1913 found that the states ruled by queens were more likely to participate in war than those ruled by kings. Queens were sometimes targeted by neighbors who perceived weakness, or they used war strategically to strengthen legitimacy. So that's kind of a lie. So lie detector test determined that's kind of just like a BS argument, a red herring.
well, I said, if women were in charge, there wouldn't be wars. And he said, well, yes, there would, because I know a lot of girls and they fight just like boys do. They all have fights. And I was like, sure, men and women both have disagreements, but it's far more likely that women's disagreements will be resolved by talking it out.
Women never do that. There's a book that Marquette Devon talks about where young boys are left to unstructured play. They build hierarchies and they find out who's the leader. Then they resolve that conflict and continue the game when they're left to unstructured play. When girls are left to unstructured play, they stop playing completely because they're egalitarian. Everyone's equal. They don't build hierarchies. They don't see certain people being better or being higher up on the food chain, so nothing can get resolved. They actually don't resolve it. They don't talk about it. And this is why I do chat. Put a one in the chat if you've seen this. Like in high school, when girls had like a best friend. Well, Catherine's my best friend this week. Well, next week, Callie's my best friend. But us as guys, we've had the same friend since we were like 13. I've had the same friend since I was like 12. It's just how it is. Us as guys were a lot different. Women don't do this stuff. All these women pretty much have different friends that they don't even buck with anymore. It's crazy.
While men's disagreements get resolved with violence. And he just walked away. So, keep doing the work, everyone.
He just walked away because he's like, wow, my mom's so
stupid.
How often has there been a draft is one of the comments. And then she commented, something I'll bring up to him. I think it's time to limit the phone time or censor what he's watching. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, he's being red pilled and it's a problem. Like all these comments. There's no way for these young men to avoid red pill content. We need to have these conversations early and often. Do you know who Margaret Thatcher is? She didn't acknowledge this one. He made a sound argument and then you responded back with a logical fallacy. Take that phone and check that algorithm. But dude, this is the thing. Somebody said, you're hindering your own argument by acting like men and women are inherently different and a matriarchy would fix everything. He's right. Women start wars too. The actual goal of your feminism should be breaking down gender roles and pursuing equality regardless of gender. And she responded back, you're totally right. And I had a follow-up conversation with him to fix what I told him. Unfortunately, the men have a point. What does equality look like? They want it to mean fist fighting for some reason. We want it to mean no longer being held back by a lack of opportunity. Here's the thing. You have all the opportunities in the world now. Put a one in the chat if you agree. Women have all the opportunities in the world now. You can get a job. You can work under the fluorescent light bulbs. Rachel Wilson has talked about this. Women have had free reign to pick their professions for at least 100 years. They still pick the same professions. They still pick the same stuff. And the problem is you guys haven't picked scanning this QR code and downloading free cash. You can click the link in the description. You can get $10 right now to play some freaking mobile games. You're going to be on your phone anyways. You might as well scan the QR code, or if you're on your phone right now, click the link in the description, sign up. All you got to do, you can pick how much you want to make every day or every week. A lot of people are making 20, 25, 30 bucks a month. I have another guy that's in the Discord that's made $2,000. He's completed 600 something offers on his downtime at work. I know some of you guys work security. I know some of you guys are truck drivers. I know some of you guys have some down downtime, you can be on your phone at work. If you're not watching the Levi Nick Show, you might as well be playing mobile games and get paid. If you sign up right now, though, you get $10 on me. Don't ever say I've never done anything for you guys, dude. One of you guys commented the other day that I've done nothing for you. Speaking of, let's get off into the comments really quick. We're going to start making this a pivotal part of the show, an integral part of the show. This is from yesterday's video talking about basically like spring break. Okay. If a pregnant woman is unalived, it's double homicide. But if a woman kills, oh my God, women math. Good Lord. A bit of an unconventional method, but my secret to avoiding STDs is not sleeping around. Spring break. Spring breakout. This is the group who says, I'm an adult. I can take care of my body. It's so true, though. You know, they used to have a solution for things like STDs. It's so true, though. You know, they used to have a solution for things like STDs, monogamous relationships, real virtue, real loyalty, real commitment. All it takes is finding one good person and being a good person yourself, and then you got nothing to worry about. Big facts, Chip. As a man over 40 in old school, if you sleep with someone under 40, you're sleeping with potentially hundreds of bodies. This is true. Cold sore is actual herpes. Low body count is the new flex. We always revert back to God's design. This is so true. Abstinence work is great. I never thought would have so many health and financial benefits. STD glow in the dark would be hilarious. Yes, it would. Friendly reminder, the 10 commandments are commands not to restrict your free will, but to keep you healthy and happy. I can't believe these people, as disgusting and embarrassing as these problems are, they can't resist putting the story on social media instead of going to see a doctor. Somebody said this is the real 28 days later. Coachella is a super spreader event. Just another great reason to stay single. I saw an update from the woman that bothered dude in their car. He left her. My body, my choice until the government says take a shot or will ruin your life, Your Highness. Houston, we have a problem. Fishy feet is a thing. This happened to my sister. She came over a few times. We were all like, what the F is that smell? Side-eyeing her like, girl. Turns out it was her boots she ordered from Shein. Fake leather, super cute, but not worth the stank. Garbage they went. This is so nasty, but serves them right, every single one of them irresponsible dorks. Went clout chasing and came back with something viral. Oh yeah, that was the opening. I try to have some jokes for you guys. Loki, you want a treat? You want a treat? Free? Sit. Free. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, these sweet potatoes smell so good. They smell sick.
Trying to get cause. My personal brand of fighting for feminism right now is trying to get as many men as possible on board with feminism, believing.
Ew! We're going to dive into why feminism's trash. I'm going to have Rachel Wilson kind of explain it because she's better at it, but good Lord.
It's real, and helping use their privilege under the patriarchy to burn down the patriarchy and rebuild something more effective. I saw time and time again in my comment section the results of failing to follow this rule. What is the rule that I broke? I forgot to begin with the most important thing, which is that feminism does not equal hating men. I don't hate men. I love men. I love men.
You love them so much you're a single mom. Single mom. Some of the comments are like, that's why I'm a misandrist. And this is why I'm a misandrist. Like, we have so much open misandry now. I would never admit to being a misogynist ever.
I need them. I am desperate for their help in this particular moment. And I'm just actively seeking the help of strong, capable, talented men to join me in my cause. So no, feminism...
to join you in your cause? Nah, no. Because the thing is, feminism's trying to nerf men. You're trying to nerf men. Why would we want to help you nerf us? This is what I'll never understand, is women want to exude femininity. Wouldn't feminists, you think, in theory, because of just the name, they would exude femininity? Wouldn't feminism mean that you're like the most feminine version of yourself? But isn't it funny how feminists are more masculine than feminine? But I don't know. I think it's all a psyop. Chat, put one in the chat if you agree. I think we're seeing a massive psyop right now. Maybe the CIA is doing something when they put stuff in the water. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like ever since Woodstock happened and the government and the CIA saw a bunch of like testosterone-driven men, over 200,000 men, go to a concert, and there was rock and roll, and the music was like rage-filled, and it was awesome, like Limp Bizkit and all that stuff. Like that was the mainstream, and now maybe like 10, 15 years later, because I think Limp Bizkit did a Woodstock in the 90s. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on the dates here, but the principle stands though. So we had like Woodstock, right? And then what happened after that? After like hard rock bands and stuff like that, it was boy bands, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, One Direction, like really feminine looking men. It wasn't like Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit or Slipknot. It wasn't like this hard rock stuff. It got completely nerfed and emasculated. And what got promoted was feminine men, which was these, boy bands. And then what happened after that? Well, rap used to be hard. You got to think with like Biggie, Tupac, these guys, they died in their 20s. And their music was about the struggle, being hard. And now it was more gangster rap, I guess you could say. But then like what happened later? It was like Chingy and Chameleonaire and, Soulja Boy. It's just like kind of teenager, teeny boppy hip hop. It wasn't anything crazy. Now it's getting more back into the gang violence and things like that, like trapping and gangster rap. Just because I see some of it on TikTok. But now it's like, even look at Harry Styles. He's a male artist, but he wears dresses. It's so feminized that all of society, it seems like right now, they're just trying to nerf men and say, oh, it's toxic masculinity. But nobody talks about toxic femininity. Like when men get accused of doing something falsely and go to court and then get convicted of something they never did and it ruins their lives and reputations. Nobody talks about that. That's why I'm here to talk about it. That's a huge problem. So I don't think men are ever going to be standing up and shouting from the rooftops that they want to support feminism when feminism is literally trying to destroy what masculine men want in this world, which is hardworking masculine men. We don't want to be feminized. Y'all can have that.
Does not mean hating men. The problem with allowing that misconception to run rampant is that it immediately shuts down the conversation. If my goal is to get strong, thoughtful, creative men to join my cause in breaking the patriarchy down, which it's already a broken system. It's broken.
It's so broken that you get to, complain in your car, you get to get adult braces, it looks like you have a job. If it's so broken, move to another country. Move to a matriarchy. Here's my whole thing. If it's so bad, move.
But in burning it down and rebuilding something better, then I cannot start that conversation with them assuming that I hate them. It simply will not work. And they can't.
But okay, well, if you don't hate them, why are you saying you need to burn it down and build something better? What has been, let me just ask ChatGPT, what has been historically more successful? A matriarchy or a patriarchy? I think we already know the answer to this. I would say a patriarchy, since patriarchal societies have been more common, larger in scale, and more durable in terms of recorded state building, but that does not automatically mean patriarchy. Oh, ChatGPT, don't be doing me like that. If by successful you mean building large empires, controlling territory, lasting for centuries, and dominating historical records, then yeah, patriarchies are good. Roman Empire, Imperial China, Chinese dynasties, many European kingdoms, and numerous Middle Eastern empires. But if successful means lower violence, stronger kinship bonds, child welfare, social cohesion, community resilience, then some matriarchal I can't even say that word. What is this? The Mosuo, the Menengakapu, the Hadutushi, blah, blah, baby. Ain't nobody know about these. Because the thing is, and I have a clip from Rachel Wilson. She talks about this. The thing is y'all want all this stuff. These ladies want this stuff, but who's going to defend it? Who's going to enforce it? That's what I thought. Y'all ain't going to do it? Get a bunch of teenage boys to come up and just overthrow y'all's whole government.
Opt into feminism, not in a healthy way, if they think that it means they have to hate themselves and their sex as well. Nobody can shame themselves into change. The only way that we can affect change is showing them that they're loved and showing them that there's another way of behaving. So yesterday, I turned around and I tried to have a conversation with my 12-year-old son about a feminist idea, and I broke my second rule in the same breath. I accidentally equated the patriarchy with men. And that's the number 2 most harmful thing about this conversation that I've been trying to have, is when you mistake the patriarchy for men, then men feel attacked. And when you're under attack, you can't be at your most effective thinking, your highest plane of intellectualism. So I broke the 2 rules, but I did go and fix it. So I'm going to upload that video pretty soon as I have time to edit it. And hopefully it will inspire you to keep trying, because even though I'm not a perfect feminist, I'm not going to ever give up on my efforts to create a better, more equal world for myself.
Good Lord, there's no such thing as a perfect feminist. It's all a flawed feminist.
It was rough, but I got through it. And what I found was, holy moly, most of these women, almost all, but certainly most.
The name of this clip is Rachel Wilson talks about the occult roots of feminist ideology.
were into spiritualism, which was like a big 1800s movement of like trying to do seances and contact the dead and things like that. Theosophy, which combines like Eastern occult practices with like other Western traditions, ancient goddess worship, New Age stuff, and even Satanism and Luciferianism. In fact, in my book, I cite a book that's a PhD thesis by a professor from Norway. His name's Per Faxneld. I don't know if that's the way you pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled, P-E-R. It's called Satanic Feminism, his book. And now he himself is a Satanist. He's a Luciferian himself. So he sees it as a good thing that the women of the 19th century openly declared Lucifer as their liberator and the mascot of their movement. Now, you would look back and think these were Christian women because they were in like New England and stuff in the United States, Puritan communities and things like this. But they weren't. In fact, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and a bunch of her friends wrote something called the Woman's Bible in 1895, where they rewrote the Bible from a feminist perspective.
Unreal.
And took out the things that they thought were oppressive and patriarchal. And in the intro, Stanton herself says, I think her husband was a preacher maybe, or really involved with the church at the time. But she said, I don't believe that any man has ever heard anything from God. I don't believe the Bible is divinely inspired. I think all of Christianity was made up specifically by men to oppress women. That's my personal belief. She was more of like a proto-New Ager. She believed in like this monism stuff. And she said, if I...
Monism. I'll make you moan. Not Rachel, but in general.
Monism?
Yeah, monism is like the kind of a lot of the New Age, or even some of the DMT bros will kind of come to this conclusion that there's like a one that we have to return to. Like we're all one. And
oh yeah, we're all connected. I felt that way when I did shrooms. I really did in college. I did shrooms and was like, oh, we're all connected. And I was all about inclusivity and like we're all one. Everyone needs to be involved. And I was like so about it. And I was like, you need to stop being a dirty hippie. All right.
Honey, this is the reason why feminism didn't become a thing until the last 100 years, because technology made and maintained by men is the only thing that allows you to believe you don't need men. Do you get that?
Wait. You're
Do you
trying to
get
put,
that?
Okay, what is your point?
My point is that your belief in women's rights, you have to ask the men to guarantee your rights. Any rights you have are granted, guaranteed, and enforced by men only.
Fantastic.
And the minute they don't want to do that anymore, you don't have them.
Does it make it right?
I don't.
Does it make it right? Logical fallacy, moving the goalposts. I saw this and this hurt my heart here. As being a new parent, this one hurt my heart. So this one, sorry, Chet, you can't really see the little Lokesters back there. Somebody was like, can you make his screen 33.333% bigger? I can't. Liberal moms parent differently.
Word, you're going to go learn everything you can about it, and then we're going to come back here and talk about it. Ready?
Oh, here we
I'm going
go.
to give you a word. You're going to go learn everything you can about it, and then we're going to come back here and talk about it. Ready?
Yeah.
The word is misogyny.
Shocker.
Go. Okay, what does misogyny mean?
Misogyny is prejudice
Prejudice against women or the hatred towards women.
against a woman. So basically the dislike of women.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. So an example would be attempts to control a woman's behavior. So you could use threats to make a woman do something for you. Another example is ignoring or silencing women. So let's say you're in a classroom and you're writing an opinion essay. So everybody gets done with their essay and it's the girl's turn to speak. So the girl walks up and she reads her opinion essay and everybody's like, your opinion sucks. Or also somebody might interrupt her.
What's wrong with that? Some people's opinions do suck, dude. I feel bad for the kid because, like, I don't know. I just feel like if you lead boys down this route, they're just gonna be feminine.
Say, this opinion sucks. It doesn't make sense to any of us. But a popular boy walks up and he does the same, and everybody's like, oh yes, I love it.
You mean the same opinion?
Same opinion and everything. But everybody's like, oh, I love it. I love it so much.
That is a classic example of it.
Classic.
Any last words?
Don't be misogynistic.
I'm gonna give you.
I mean, I don't know, man. I really hope she ain't raising these boys to be fruity.
A big part of healthy masculinity should be service. Like, for instance, when we had groceries at the front door, I expected our boys to carry the groceries for me to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, hey, I did that. One trip or die trying, bro.
kept saying, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Because they should know that part of being a man is serving those around you, and specifically serving the women around you. You can see the fruit of how you've modeled what it looks like to be a loving, manly husband and the way that our kids talk to me. If I'm like sad, they're like, it's gonna be okay,
Wait,
mommy.
I love that. Why do I love that our kids say that to you?
I'm so grateful that they have you as an example to look to, because you are an amazing example of what it means to be manly nowadays.
See, dude, I love it. And I think a lot of these people are in the South. Bro, I think a lot of them are in the South. I don't think a lot of these, I think a lot of these traditional values just disappear as you get further north. It's really sad.
New horrific study just dropped about Gen Z men. Happy Women's History Month. Basically, they're twice as likely as Boomer and Gen X and Millennial men to think that women need to obey their husbands, and all sorts of like misogynistic things about women not being their equals. As a millennial and as a mom of a boy, this makes me really worried, because I kind of thought before this, well, the boys are learning from their fathers. Like, for example, my husband is a very hands-on dad, and I hate to even use that word, because like, what does that mean? Like, do you call someone a hands-on mom? We are equal partners at home. Like, he does the laundry, he does the dishes. I've shared videos on here. He does a lot of the labor around the house. He does the restocks for stuff. Like, we equally share in mental load tasks. My son, part of the reason I think he loves me so much is because he sees how my husband treats me like a queen. So now I worry, like, where is that disconnect? If millennial dads are more present and more around, same with Gen X dads, why are their children, I guess Gen Z aren't children of millennial, but you know what I mean. Why are the next generation of boys having less respect for women? It's just social media, content online, right? The red pill content. And as women rightfully raise their standards, rather than the culture being about men becoming better and rising to where women are, it's about like the male loneliness epidemic. Men are falling behind. It's like, just reframe it as what men should do better, and we need to treat boys like girls and raise the bar for them. But that's like, that's too advanced. My son is only 4, and I just think about like, okay, first we're going to identify emotions. We're not going to minimize things or tell him to just tough it out or walk it out. Like, if he cries, it's okay. We talk about these things. The second thing is we're going to celebrate joy. I feel like a lot of boys are taught that the things that women celebrate, like half birthdays, dogs' birthdays, just whatever brings us joy, we celebrate. And a lot of men make fun of that joy, mostly because they have never been able to cultivate it as a child themselves, because they were told it was stupid, and or women in their lives took care of that emotional labor and that community building for them. So what I try to do with my son is I try to instill that in him as I would a little girl. So for example, he has his own Christmas tree, and we get ornaments for it every year. We write him a birthday card for his birthday every year that we've saved, and we seal till he's 18. We try to do things that make his life feel special so that he can, as he grows, enjoy boyhood the way that little girls do. One thing I try to do is raise my son as if he's a daughter. And I think,
God, it's so bad to me. Because would you raise a daughter to be like a boy? I just think you need to raise intelligent children. Kids that are, in tune with their emotions, and they can analyze things, and they can break down scenarios, and they have, deductive reasoning, and they can detect threats. Like this whole raise him like a boy, raise him like a girl, like teaching a boy emotional intelligence. Like, you're just going to teach this young boy how to manipulate. And at least for me, I was really in tune with my emotional intelligence because I was raised by a single mom, and I learned how to manipulate my mom, who was, 28 years older than me. You darn bet I can manipulate girls in my grade. Like, my first real girlfriend, I guess you could say, like in high school, was older than me. I was a sophomore and she was a senior. In high school, that's not really the case. Younger guys don't date older girls. That's not really a thing. It's usually the other way around. Older guys date younger girls. I was a sophomore, she was a senior, and that's just what it was. I remember my freshman year, dude. My freshman year, I really wanted to go to prom. And there was this girl that, she was in band, I was in band, and she was the drum major or whatever. And she was one of the director's daughters. And I just go up to her one day, I'm like, oh, hey, you going to prom this year? She's like, well, I don't have a date. I was like, take me. I'm 14. Take me. She's like, wait, are you serious? I'm like, you're taking me to prom. She's like, okay. And she took me to prom. and you know what I did? I got to prom and just grinded on a bunch of other girls. I think I did one dance with her. It was was savagery. But even at my young age, I realized that women wanted to be told what to do. Like they loved that assertiveness. Hey, go do this. Hey, you're taking me. And I just led a horse to water, and then she drank. It was crazy. But I learned that at a very early age, that if you wanted to get a woman, you kind of had to be forceful. Not forceful in the regards of like forcing yourself on her, but you had to really be super transparent with your intentions and what you wanted out of the situation. And I was like, I learned this at a very early age because my best friend at the time, he had a brother that was 3 years older, so he was putting us on mad game. And then he had another brother that was 3 years older than him. So when I was in 8th grade, I had a dude who was like a freshman in college putting me on game. Like, hey, this is how you do it. This is what you do. This is what you say. This is what works. And so I was just soaking all this up from the ages of like 12 to 14. So by the time I get to high school, I was on like a 18, 19-year-old's level of the game. I knew what to expect. I knew what they were going to do. I knew what they were going to say. I knew how they were going to act, and they're like, just be completely blunt with these women, and they're going to respect it. Like, don't beat around the bush. Don't try to be their friend and then get in their pants. Like, just immediately be like, hey, I like you. I think you're hot. Like, I want to hook up with you. Like, just be blunt with it. And if they're like, ooh, no, then he's like, cool, dude, on to the next. This way you're not wasting emotional time and effort trying to build a bond with a girl and try to do the bait and switch. The bait and switch is a sales tactic that a lot of guys try to do, from going to the friend zone to getting in their pants. It never works. It's like a pregnant woman on welfare. It never works. The bait and switch the bait and switch technique is basically where you would cold call someone and you would act like a customer. Hey, is this so-and-so at so-and-so? Yeah, I was wondering if you guys sold this. I was wondering if you guys did this. Like, you're asking questions that a customer would typically ask, and then out of nowhere you're like, hey, are you trying to get more leads? Like, then you try to switch them and sell something to them. It's the same thing with being in the friend zone and then trying to get in their pants. Some guys think that they can build this emotional bond with women that one day they'll be able to just, she's going to let me hit. No, dude. It's like an immediate attraction. These women know almost instantly. And we have women that watch. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Women know pretty much instantly if they're going to buck you or not. In the first 5 minutes of knowing you or even seeing you, you'll know. Like when I was younger, dude, especially in college, I could just tell by the look a woman was giving me if she was interested or not. Like if you like look over at her, she's looking at you, you keep doing your thing. You look back, she double takes, triple takes, bro. Triple takes. You might as well just walk over right now, go back to the dorm room. It's that simple. Women know really quickly, because they're so selective, and you have to hit so many criteria automatically off rip. And then if you open your mouth and you're funny, brother, it's game over. That's why personality matters a lot more. That's why I tell men, work on your personality first, because your body can change in 6 months. You can go to the gym and have a completely new body in 6 months. But your personality is something that takes a long time to build. If you're introverted, you want to learn how to be extroverted, you have to do a lot of exposure therapy and just like approach people, cold approach women, cold approach men. Like I have guys ask me, Levi, people call in all the time. Levi, what can I do to get more girls? I'm like, how many girls have you talked to this week? Well, none. How are you going to get better? You have to do it. The only way you're going to get better at something is if you actually, it's like going to the gym, dude. I was at the barber shop yesterday. I got a shout out to my barber, dog. I didn't fix my hair good. It looks like crap, but you guys get it. Anyways, I was at the barber shop, and my barber was talking about he went to this barber convention, and he was talking to the other barbers, and they were talking about content creation. And my barber knows what I do. He's like, he's a YouTuber. He's like, oh yeah, he's a YouTuber. He's famous on YouTube. I was like, hey, slow down. I'm not famous. Anyways, these guys were like, oh, okay, well, what's your channel about? And so I was telling them, and they're like, well, how do I grow a channel? And I was like, post every day for a year, and it'll change your life. And they're like, that's all you got? I was like, I mean, I could put you guys on other game, but that's the first step. Post every day for a year. And they're like, God, that's a lot. That's a lot. I was like, go check my communities tab. And they're like, oh my God, they saw how much I make. And they're like, okay, maybe I can do that. Like, it gives them so much motivation. The only thing I don't like about telling people how much I make on YouTube, especially when they're asking about insight about content creation and wanting to do it, is that they're chasing the money. And if you chase money, it runs. If you attract money, it comes to you. And then I have to follow up with them and say, hey, I posted every day for 9 months before I made any money. And they're like, God, 9 months? It's like 100. And I was like, it's like 180 days. It's like, could you do something for 180 days and just be cool with it and have no clue if it's going to work for you? Could you do that? And a lot of people don't. They don't want to do it. But everybody's like, I want to do content creation. I want to do YouTube. But then they don't want to work. I want to be in a relationship. I want to have a beautiful family, but they don't want to approach women. Anything worth having is worth working for, bro. And like with Cass, it was way out of my league. She's super hot. Even like when I first met her, she was, Jesus, she was so hot. She was like a model body. We went out one time for like I think it was a July 4th thing. We were on a boat, and there was these guys on another boat coming up to Cass and be like, hey, would you be interested in being like a bottle girl or like a swimsuit model? Like approaching her to be a model. Cass was like, no, I'm good. It's like, thank God. Could have lost her. But no, she's like banging body, banging personality, super funny, easy to be around. And then I'm super blessed now because like, and my whole thing with people being like, well, women are oppressed and how dare you gonna serve your husband? I serve them bills up every month. Bills are paid. So I think the way you approach it though, with a woman showing you servitude is a big thing, right? If you're like, get in there and make me a hot plate, woman, that's just rude to anybody. You wouldn't tell a chef to do that. You wouldn't tell a waiter to do that. So when Cass makes me a good meal, I tell her I appreciate it. And I'm like, man, this is good. I can taste the love in it. Now, she doesn't make bad food. But even if she did, I tell her I love it. I'm not going to sit there at something that she worked hard on and be like, this is trash. She put her sweat and tears in there. Blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm just so appreciative now that I'm able to provide that life for her, because a lot of guys don't have the luxury of being able to pay all the bills and then a woman stay home. It's expensive, dude. It's so freaking expensive. But I always tell you guys there's hope. Because when I met Cass, she was paying 95% of the bills. I was a broke. I was paying maybe 5%. And then it went to, 70-30 and then 50-50 and then 60-40. And now I pay 100% of the bills. It took a long time. She stayed down for me while she saw that I had potential. And she's like, I just knew you had something. I knew you had it, and I knew you would figure it out. I didn't know how long it'd take, but she's like, I was down for that ride with you. And I'm like, God, that's why I love this woman so much. And that's why I say there's always two options when it goes to getting a relationship, right? You can either both meet each other as peasants, and you can build the kingdom together. You're a king, she's a queen, and you reap the benefits of your spoils. The other route you can take is you become a king on your own fruition, by yourself. And then you get you a queen that's kind of like a princess, and then you share her amongst your concubines. Never give a woman loyalty unless she's been down with you when you had nothing. I just can't, like if Cass met me now when I'm doing well, and I pretty much just gave her all my loyalty, I'm like, but you weren't there when I was in the trenches. Why would I give you any of that? I would expect it from her still. But why would, that loyalty stuff is earned. Like, you can pay for love, but you can't pay for loyalty. Like, if the poo hit the fan, I knew Cass would be there. I know Cass would be there. Because she could always go back to work. And sometimes we joke, like, I don't know, you might have to go back to work. Like, but she's not going to. She's going to stay raising baby Nicks. Ain't that right, Lokes? Ain't that right, buddy? Aren't you just such a good boy, yeah? He doesn't care. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's good to have you guys out, man. Until next time, peace.
Some internet and social media trends are stupid, some are dangerous, and some are both. These are what we're going to dive into. These are the worst internet trends still happening today. The goal, guy.
Statement from the mod team. This is actually, in my opinion, kind of crazy drama to have happen. So, statement from the mod team. Yesterday, a post about Extra Emily and a website, viewbot.ai, was posted on this subreddit, the original thread. So this is the original post right here. Removed by a moderator. Harassment, unsourced allegations. So, and by the way, the unsourced allegation was literally just a link, right? It was literally, so basically she opened up she opened up her like tabs, like for example, like you go down here and it will open up other tabs, and it will show like all the things you have open, but it's at the bottom, not the top, or like windows, not tabs, windows, and it showed like this right here, like viewbot.ai, not good. And anyway, so was removed by a member of our moderator team. They stated, I removed this thread because it looks like the Viewbot AI website is a pop-up from the 6-7 speed website that appeared when she opened to try to do the challenge. Trying to do due diligence, multiple members of the mod team tried themselves but could not recreate the pop-up on our own end. We did multiple browsers, incognito, mobile, everything, and we could not recreate the pop-up. Anybody who, like, I'm sorry, anybody who believed this is a pop-up should have their internet privileges revoked. You should not be allowed to internet anymore. The internet should be shut down for you. You should not be allowed to use the internet. You're not, you've lost your internet privileges. And let me explain why. What year was the last time you got a pop-up? A new window pop-up. A new window at the bottom at the taskbar. When was the last time you got a pop-up? What year? I would say at best 2012. At best. So, yeah, yesterday, today. Are you some kind of a retarded? Are you like one of these retardeds? What's wrong with you? I don't believe you. I think you're lying. I think you're full of shit. Pirate sites? No. Usually most porn sites and pirate sites, this is what I've had a friend tell me, is that they will open up other tabs, but they will not open up other windows. I'm talking about a new window that is opened. This is a very different thing. Trying to do due diligence. Okay, so obviously it was not a pop-up. She, in my opinion, I think she looked it up herself. I do. I don't believe the pop-up thing. I don't. And if I go, here, let me do it right now. I'll do it myself right now. And I probably, actually, oh man. So whenever she went to the 6-7 speed website, let's see if I get a pop-up for a... Let's see if I get a pop-up for... Is this it? Is this it right here? So if I click this... If I click this, it should give me the pop-up, right? You've got a blocker? Let me turn it off. Extensions. Manage extensions. Okay. I'm going to turn off. I'm gonna turn off ad block. It is turned off at this point, and I'm going to refresh. Ad block is turned off. It's time to give my IP away to scammers. Let's go. Nothing happened. Not a single thing happened. Let me refresh the page. I'm going to refresh the page again. I'm going to refresh the page again. I'm going to stop refreshing it because the odds are they have a throttling system and repeated queries will probably send me to a Cloudflare link. But there you go. Control F5. And yeah, there it is. So there's no benefit or anything like that. Try the same browser she had. I did. I'm on Chrome right now. I'm on Chrome on incognito with what do you call it? Just a second. Just a minute. I'm trying to turn off my turn my ad block extension back on now. Okay. And so, okay, now it has been re-enabled and we are safe once again. So a retarded person with malware on their PC, on their own PC, accusing a website of pop-ups? Well, I don't know. And so, yeah, I don't think it was a pop-up. Pop-up and like new window pop-ups like that are like extremely, extremely uncommon. Very uncommon. Anybody who thought that was a plausible explanation when nobody could recreate that outcome is just, they're just just retarded. Like, I mean, I don't know what to I don't know what to tell you. Like, I mean, you're just stupid. So anyway, let's go back and look at this here. Tried multiple browsers, incognito and everything. The same mod that removed the original thread said that they did recreate the pop-up by spamming the start button, and we took their word on it and started to remove threads and comments that kept popping up about the situation. So one mod on the moderator team said that, oh no, I didn't know what happened to me. Oh no. And like, that was it, right? And why is it so common now? That's it. Trust me. Oh no, she would never do that. Oh, look at me. Like, no, I can't. I don't have a screenshot. No, I can't show you. You're just gonna have to believe me. And that's it. And paid actor, exactly. And so they need to remove the mod. Well, we'll get to that. More threads and comments popped up questioning why we would remove these threads and push back on the claims that it was a pop-up. We tried to gather more proof, but they said that they were not able to recreate it, and it suggested the pop-up may have been removed. After that, we decided to leave a post up with a more neutral title. Today, here we go. It has started to become more apparent that this moderator may have lied. I knew it. Or fabricated the claim of a pop-up, seemingly to protect Extra Emily. Through more digging, we were able to confirm that they are an avid Extra Emily clipper, poster, and a very active member of her community and Discord. Mods are going to have biases and be viewers, but we cannot allow that bias to influence how we moderate or what rules we follow. We still have not been able to recreate the pop-up, neither has the other communities that tried. With all that being said, we have decided to remove this mod from the team. We promise to be more transparent in our moderation, and if we screw up, we think it's important to be open about it. Thank you to the members of the community who reached out during the to challenge the original claims of a pop-up. So there you go. There you fucking go. Rare Reddit mod W. Absolutely huge W from Reddit. And let me pull up, and this is why I think it's kind of weird, is that, what the hell? Okay, I thought my thing was broken. Okay, Extra Emily. So if I pull this up, she's not even botting. Like, if you look at a handful of these streams, like I looked at this before, this is not that. Well, actually, this one is pretty. This does look. This one does look pretty bad. This one does look kind of. This kind of doesn't look great. Does not look good, right? I mean, like, I mean, it could be something else, but it does not really look. I mean, the viewership going down for like a sponsor makes sense. Like this one, like, I mean, is not really that crazy, but you know, it's like it's kind of hard to say. I'd have to look at some other stuff, but it definitely is not like. I'll be honest. It's not black and white. That's gray. It is. I like Extra Emily. She's a friend of mine. Like, but that's. It looks suspicious. It does. It looks suspicious. Like, I mean, that's just really all there is to it. And there's a lot of people skipping the 40K one. Well, of course I am, because I assumed that there was some other stream that, you know, it was like an event stream, right? Something like this. Yeah, it was like some massive, like, weird viewbotter thing or something like that happened. I wouldn't take that very seriously or look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is like guaranteed what's happening, because somebody could have done it to make her look bad, because this is after the fact. So, I mean, like, do you really think that she paid for, like, you know, 40,000 view bots for 5 minutes, right? I mean, you really think that she did that? And so, like, it's just stupid. So you wouldn't even imagine that to be a conclusion. So that's why I ruled it off. She's not stupid, blatant drama farming? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think she is at all. And I find it to be, again, like the graphs do look a little bit sus to me. It's hard to be sure whether it's true or not. I don't really know. But in a general sense, it does look a little bit problematic. Definitely. Look at your own stats and then compare. I think your viewership really shows what a big streamer not botting looks like. You ramp up 42K, you stop politics, gaming goes to 20, 30K. Your viewership's for example. Well, I think that everybody's viewership is going to be different. Like for me, my viewership goes up pretty fast whenever I start streaming, just in a general sense. And the reason for that is because because I go live at the same time every day. Like, there are some people that go live at different times at different days, but I go live basically every single day, and I go live at the same time, which means that people are already kind of trained, I guess, and I don't want to say that's kind of weird. People aren't dogs, right? Viewers are not dogs, but like, you know, there's like a pattern that viewers can expect that I will be live if it's like 1:30 or 1:20 p.m., right? And not every day. I mean, obviously I take days off, but in general, that's what it is. And like, that's the point. Usually at that point, I've been live for like 10, 15, 20 minutes at that point, right? So in a lot of these cases, I think that you can look at a lot of other confounding variables. I just looked up his logs in Extra Emily's chat. He has 6,464 messages in there since the beginning of April. Oh my God. This is all, I want you guys to understand this. This is all, look at the date. 2026, 4/14. This is all from 4 days ago. 2014, this is all in one stream. All one stream, all one stream. This is all still one stream. These are all messages. Okay, this is a new stream right here. Now you're at 11. Okay, so now you're at 11 right here. Okay, this is 11. Oh, wait, it's too fast. Okay, now it's another stream right here. That's crazy. Yes, almost like me. That's more than a lot of my viewers, I'll tell you that. This guy's dedicated, man. And look at that, more 10. I mean, this is it. It's impressive almost. It is. And so, and he's also, you can tell that he's watching this. Like, I mean, W stream ending, yeah, I won't do it anymore. So all of this right here, I mean, these are not like random replies or him spamming things. These are contextual messages.
Big day, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like the EU's age verification app just got hacked in apparently less than 2 gosh darn minutes. Now, ladies and gentlemen... You know, I could laugh all day, every day, but state surveillance is one of those things that I think is not a laughing matter. You know, we're reaching a world where these governments constantly say, listen, gotta protect those kids. Maybe you should get rid of that end-to-end encryption crap that people keep talking about, just so we can scan your messages, while the same government leaders, military guys, elite people, you know, the people that run our world effectively get to use this technology, and the rest of us plebeians, you know, we're just sort of sitting here with our dicks in our hands with like completely insecure communications. When it comes to the internet, look, there's a lot of places on the internet I would not let my kid near, okay? But you see, I can do that. I can be a parent and I can tell my kid, listen, that's a no-no place on the internet. I can go into their phone, I can put in parental controls, I can go to my router and put in parental blocks. I can do a lot of things to make that friction way, way harder than what the government can do. I can also just be a parent and talk to my kid. So the reality of this situation is, obviously, I think the parent should be the one that is responsible for what happens on the internet, and we shouldn't be destroying the safety, security, and privacy of the internet that it provides, the last bastion of freedom, because this is the world we live in. Look, times be changing very rapidly. By the time GTA 6 drops in 2027, I'm going to tell you right now, the internet's going to be a very, very different fucking place. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened? So this is the EU Digital Identity Wallet. This is a open source release. This is a demo at the moment. And it's demo because they say that it's a demo up over here. It's a demo version that you can test right now. It's the age verification solution for every single European out there. And based on this, remember, it's also not ready for, you know, production deployment. It's not ready to be out there in the wild. Now, it's a bit confusing reading this because ultimately speaking, some of the EU politicians have kind of said that as of 15th April 2026, that age verification solution is technically ready. And we're about to look at a hack that took place that apparently can be done in 2 minutes. So the age verification solution has the highest standards of privacy available. And of course, it's fully open source, meaning that, you know, everybody can look through it. And I think, look, for any state surveillance solution, as much as I disagree with it, what the EU is providing here is kind of probably the best of a really bad situation. Look, To me, when I look at shit like this, it's like, what do you want to get rather, stabbed or shot? I mean, obviously both of these options suck. One is maybe marginally better than the other, but I would love to live in a world where I'm not getting stabbed or fucking shot. So let's get through the actual clickbait and see what happened over here, okay? So I've seen a lot of people say this is a huge hack. Now this comes from a guy called Paul Moore, who's from the UK, he's a security consultant, and he showcased how this hack actually happened. So on your actual smartphone device, you can see that he's got the age verification app, and he's got Total Commander. Now, to do this hack, you need to be able to have physical device access to the actual, product, right? So you need to be able to physically have the phone, and you also have to have the phone totally fucking rooted, meaning that a lot of those sandboxing rules that exist for Android, or really a lot of those protections, kind of get withered away. Having a rooted phone is not something I consider to be a sin, but if you do a lot of banking or actual sensitive stuff, some applications don't let you operate them if your phone is actually fucking rooted, meaning that you're going beyond the permission levels that were set by the company that sold you the product. So let's look at exactly how this works. Basically, he opens the actual application, as you can see over here, and then he goes through the onboarding process. He puts in a PIN, which is 000001, enters that PIN right over here, and then of course you can see that the application works in a way where it can grab your electronic ID, your passports, and then you can also use a token to access, like an on-site identity check, which I'll show you actually in a minute. And I'm not installing this on my device because I do not install state surveillance on my system. So again, through the development portal, he's got this sort of demo like age verification, sort of built in, this token that he's fed in. So as it gets implemented into his phone, you can see that right here, he's got in his device, in the test device, the actual digital credentials like issuer token. So one thing that I noticed over here is that he's got the sort of 30 left on the right. I don't know if that's specifically days. I just don't think that, once an age is verified, it typically should lose access. Like, I don't know, age doesn't go down, but anyways, that's a whole kind of separate story. Basically, what he does now is that in order to break the application, he basically closes it out completely, opens up an application called Total Commander, and over here he's got these 3 strings. Now, again, he's basically going to delete 2 of these strings, and because he deletes 2 of these strings from the actual XML file, remember, this is accessible because he has physical device access, and he's fucking rooted into the device. He goes back in, goes through the onboarding process, enters in a different PIN number, so as you can see 11112, and as he's done this, you can see that that token option has frankly just disappeared. So what he does now is, in order to show you how this works, he closes the application, opens it up again, enters in the false PIN, and gets access to the age verification like documents, right? Or at least the token that can be used. Now, this is not that crazy. Like, I saw this on the headlines and I was like, okay, I have to see how bad this hack is. And the reality is, I'm just going to straight up say it, I don't think it's super duper crazy in that regard. However, the next hack he kind of shows is actually kind of a little bit, it's more concerning in my opinion. So he says that bypassing using their own infrastructure, he ports the Android app to a Chrome extension, stripping out the pesky step of handing over biometric data, which they can leak, and pass verification instantly. So step 1, install the extension, register an identity once, continue using the web as normal. So again, the problem with some of these things is that, when you have this browser extension that detects these verification QR codes in these service flows and returns these forged attestations, it shows that breaking the application, or at least the logic of it, is actually quite trivial in this situation. Now look, I'm not here to sit down and fucking shit down the throat of politicians. I don't think it's really the politicians, I don't think that this whole situation is as insane as some of the media has made it out to be. But obviously there have been people who, like Pavel Durov, the guy behind Telegram, for instance, who said that, listen, maybe this is some sort of conspiracy in a sense that you present this privacy-respecting option, but an incredibly hackable application. The application gets hacked, which is where we currently are talking about it, and then they remove the privacy to fix the actual application. And then the surveillance tool is sold as privacy-respecting. So again, look, the end of the day, the actual person behind Telegram says that the app verification was hackable by design, since it instantly just trusted the device. So look, obviously there's no perfect rule to this. There's no perfect solution to any of this. But I on my channel like to at least pride myself a little bit on giving you the 100% actual facts as they are. No clickbait, no none of that nonsense. Yes, this application technically has been hacked. And its hack is interesting to look at. But I don't want you to think that just because it's hacked that these people are able to get your passports or your electronic IDs just right off of it. Because the reality is, if somebody's going to get access to your cell phone device and then root it, they probably have access to your wallet, which contains your driver's license, or they probably can beat the living shit out of you and get access to your passport. Look, to get physical device access is definitely one thing. If this was maybe like, hey, we're capturing people's tokens out of the sky, as these, like if somebody was like, using their application to submit a request, and maybe on that request somebody had grabbed your information, that would be a really nuclear bad deal. But the thing about it is obviously this is an open source demo, and that's what open source demos are supposed to do. They're supposed to have people pick these things apart, see where the problems are, so that eventually they will actually be patched, which as of yesterday, this was in fact fucking patched. So yeah, something bad happened, and that bad thing got really patched up really fucking quickly. But the reality of it is, just because it's open source doesn't mean that I think people should fucking contribute to the state surveillance application. I still think ultimately, at the end of the day, the direction we're going with the internet is a bad direction. Especially if the internet is going to require us to go through all of these steps to access information as we once freely did. Look, I told you guys this before, right? And I've said this for years. I've talked about this since the creepypasta days, the deep web days, the virus investigating, yada, yada, yada. Every time we look at shit like this, we're reaching a world of George Orwellian's 1980, like we're reaching a George Orwell 1984 world, where, again, just to basically access free information on the internet, we're going to have to be fucking monitored. We're entering that contract where we're being monitored. I don't think this is all out of the coincidence. I really do genuinely believe that there is some real money and power at play, and we've seen it literally weeks ago where companies like Facebook were kind of fingered at by internet investigators as a primary company that was, funding a lot of these age verification bills. A few days ago, we looked at age verification federally being talked about in the United States when it came to operating systems. I don't think that it's unreasonable to somewhat believe that there is a almost global conspiracy happening right now where some of the largest countries, some of the largest regions in the world are just magically coming together to deal with this protecting minors online bullshit. Because if it was protecting minors online, we would just ask our parents, or we would put actual legal blame on those parents instead. I still think that's a logical option to have, I don't leave a loaded firearm sitting around my house and then blame the fucking gun company because my child decided to grab and set it off. No, I would actually blame myself for improperly storing the gun and also putting my own child in danger. Just in the same way that I don't buy my kid a smartphone, give them unfettered access, and then bitch and complain to my fucking representative and say, how the hell could I prevent little Timmy from looking at online internet stuff? This is such an insane story, and every time I look at it, every time it develops, it baffles my mind how far we've gotten in humanity, and we're still letting this kind of shit happen. So ultimately, look, at the end of the day, the EU option sounds like it is palatably the best, right? Leave all of the attestation to your device, scan your passport, driver's license into your device, have it only stored here, and then generally speaking, you go to a website on the internet, you look at a QR code, you scan it as if you were doing like an authenticator on your phone, and then your phone will basically send a yes or no signal, and the website should unlock. And that sounds like a reasonably good way to go forward. When I see hacks like this, ultimately at the end of the day, I think the plan here is, listen, we're going to implement an application, people are going to break this application, and then the governments will realize, listen, we have to make them technically more stricter. It's like age verification already. As soon as it was introduced in Australia, in the United Kingdom, what did people fucking do? They immediately started using VPNs to bypass it. And then what is the talk now? Hey, maybe we should start putting blocks on these VPNs, or at least put age restrictions there. So it just becomes an ever escalating war of making this shit way more awful than it actually is and needs to be. Look, the reality is kids are going to be kids and the internet is going to be the internet. So ultimately, the only change here that should happen is more of a talk about how you're going to end up parenting your kid in the day and age of the internet. I grew up with the internet, okay? Like I am of the age where the internet was introduced as I was a little fucking, kid. And I grew up alongside seeing this internet, become something from people on dial-up, sharing small little fucking like text files with each other, all the way to the age and era where we're sharing 4K footage. We're constantly on our devices getting like high resolution shit thrown at us. In a world where I think there's far more pressing things than mass surveillance, in a world where, a lot of these politicians are constantly pushing for shit like war, where again, people are concerned where, are we even gonna have jobs in the fucking future? Because again, we're letting a whole bunch of people who are riding above us basically implement technologies and basically rip away the future that people kind of hoped would happen to them. A lot of people nowadays that I talk to are excited if they even have enough to eat every fucking month, okay? Like, it actually is just fucking that bad. I'm not even joking. Like, go outside, talk to people, just talk with anybody who's living the day-to-day life, and they'll tell you what their concerns are. Their concerns are literally if they can eat today, eat this month, if they can pay their fucking rent and call it a day. And, ultimately, these politicians are more concerned with, again, making sure that we're constantly cattled up, making sure that, our shit is constantly monitored, we're constantly being surveilled, rather than make our lives better in any meaningful capacity. And I think ultimately speaking, like, this application, yes, it did end up getting hacked. The hack wasn't really as insane as a lot of the headlines made it out to be. But the thing is, I think it's a precursor to something much larger. I think that, applications like this invoke a huge attack surface of being breached, where eventually down the road, it might not be uncommon that at some point in the EU, and remember, if this is happening in a place like the EU, it easily can happen just as fast in the United States. You might think that you're safe and free and patriot bound, but remember, the US is federally talking about OS level age verification. All this stuff is converging. And at the end of the day, look, we have to be able to resist and just fucking stop this nonsense, okay? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself the question, is it really about the children, or is it just about monitoring what the fuck we're doing on a day-to-day fucking basis? And I think ultimately that's where a lot of these laws kind of want us to go to. It's just about monitoring where you're going to, what you're accessing, and what you're able to look on the internet, as long as Big Brother fucking approves of you looking on the internet, right? That's where we're kind of headed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's been a wild day indeed. A lot of shit to talk about, actually. Apparently, that David guy that we were talking about earlier, he's been arrested. And the reason I haven't talked about it yet is because I'm still waiting right now on what the actual, on what I think the DA has to do in Los Angeles. So wild stuff in that regard, totally outside the age verification story. But obviously, it's fucking huge here. We had a shoe company pivot to AI, fucking blow up 400%. Crazy stuff to see, man. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like it. I am out.
Johnny Somali's detention time in Korea may double as his victim, Bong Bong, is ready to drop an appeal. We're going to get into that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is a fast facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So as you guys know, Johnny Somali Ramzi Khalid Ismail, the Cabbage Boy, was found guilty on all charges in Seoul, South Korea, and sentenced to 6 months in prison with labor. He also received an additional 20 days of detention on top of that, and he has 5 years of offender status and also had his phones permanently confiscated. Now, we have been calling for and pushing for an appeal, and the prosecution has 7 days from that verdict, from that sentencing, to actually pursue an appeal and ask for a longer sentence. There's now 5 days remaining, and we have some big news as we come towards and up to that deadline. But before I get into that news, make sure you guys have got your cabbage plushies. They are still available now. You can get them at the link in the description and the link in the pinned comments. They are super soft, super cute, and they absolutely enrage Cabbage Boy, Ramsey Khalida Smile, Johnny Somali. So get your cabbages now. All right. So Somali's victim, Bong Bong, is indeed the one that is turning the tables on him. And for those that don't know, Bong Bong, who she goes by Bong Bong IRL, is a streamer, and she's one of the streamers that interacted with Johnny Somali when he was first in Korea. And that was a point at which we didn't know how Johnny Somali was going to go, what type of content he was going to make, because Johnny Somali oscillates. He goes between making wildly offensive content to actually making pretty tame, chill content. So there's points at which in Johnny Somali's career where he actually tried to be a normal human being and tried to actually make kind of okay, all right, just perfectly fine, non-offensive IRL content. And there was a point at which when he interacted with Bong Bong IRL, they made pretty decent content. There was nothing crazy or offensive about it. But the problem is that he took scenes like this, scenes where they were just together hanging out, and transformed them into sexual deepfakes. He did this with multiple footage and scenes with her and showed those on his live streams. And we have one example here where he claims she is his girlfriend.
Look at this. Let me show you my girlfriend. You want to see my girlfriend? Look at this. I have a Korean girlfriend. I don't know why you guys want to attack me. Even I have a Korean girlfriend. She's a streamer. Bong Bong IRL, this is my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend, this is my girlfriend. Bong Bong IRL. I have a Korean girlfriend. Why are you attacking me?
And this is a massive problem because, first of all, after this, he goes on after this and shows these deepfakes where they're making out, where they're kissing, etc. And he plays those for everybody and represents that. And it's a time at which he was attacking the Comfort Woman statue, which represented underage children in Korea. So at a time in which he was assaulting this, he was making moves that were provocative, vile, and knowingly, by the way, he knew that that statue represented underage children, and he went up and did things to it, made references to Diddy, Epstein, etc. All of those things, poured baby oil on the statue. He was doing that and then using Bong Bong as a shield. So Bong Bong was getting a lot of hate, a lot of vitriol, a lot of stuff directed at her based on her association with Johnny Somali. So she got an insane amount of hate, pushback, and all this other stuff from Koreans because she was a Korean that was associating with Johnny Somali. And that was absolutely horrible. It was a hell for her, and she never wanted to go through that again. So what she did was she filed a deepfake charge against him, and that indeed was one that he was convicted on. There were two separate deepfake charges, and one of which, as you see here, was Bong Bong, and Bong Bong indeed got that conviction. Now, one thing is, people were saying, okay, well, how does she feel about this? Well, you can see kind of when she went to court how she presented, because we have this this response here, and this is actually from after her court date.
Final lawyer, the court judge asked, do you want him to be punished? So I say yes, because of all the thing I experienced, get through, something like that. That's what I said.
So you can see here, Bong Bong, she's not displaying a lot of emotion. She's kind of serious. And a lot of people took that with her as saying, okay, well, she's not deeply, deeply hurt by that. But she indeed was hurt by that. And she was so hurt, she hired a lawyer to go ahead and intervene in this case and actually push for an extreme punishment. And after the verdict, we now have, just now, breaking news that that lawyer indeed, and that lawyer representing Bong Bong, has said they are not satisfied with that. And the excuse that they gave, that she was not sad enough, was not okay. So I'm going to read this statement from attorney Lee Dun-ho of the Nova Law Firm. This is Bong Bong's attorney. So he says, victim's position on the first instance verdict of Johnny Somali. The law firm Nova, as legal representative of the victim in the Johnny Somali deepfake digital sex crime case, the violation of an act on the punishment of sexual violent crimes, distribution of false video, this is Bong Bong's attorney, states its position as follows. On April 15th, the Western District Court found Johnny Somali, real name Ramzi Khalid Ismail, guilty on all charges, including obstruction of business and violation of the Sexual Violence Punishment Act, distribution of false video footage, sentenced him to 6 months in prison and ordered his immediate arrest. The immediate arrest of the perpetrator is a significant outcome. The court's clarification that repeated offenses were committed against an unspecified number of people for the purpose of YouTube profit and a degree of disregard for domestic legal order is serious, and it's a clear message that it will not tolerate acts of generating profit by trampling on the characters of others with provocative content. However, and here's the important caveat, it is regrettable that while the court found the defendant guilty of violating the act on the punishment of violence, the distribution of false video material, guys, that means the deepfake charge, it ruled during the sentencing that the victim does not appear to feel humiliation. The fact that the victim, that's Bong Bong, responded composedly should not be interpreted to mean there was no humiliation. This logic can send a false message to deepfake victims that they must actively express their suffering to have their victimization acknowledged. And I believe the lower sentence compared to the prosecutor's request, 3 years imprisonment, is not unrelated to this. As a result of consultation with the victim, once again Bong Bong, we have decided to submit a written opinion requesting an appeal to the competent prosecutor's office. Considering the impact of the court's judgment regarding humiliation will have on sentencing guidelines for future cases, we believe that a ruling from a higher court is absolutely necessary. I hope this ruling will serve as an opportunity to further raise social awareness regarding the infringement of personal rights and deepfake crimes committed using online platforms. As the victim's legal representative, the law firm Nova will faithfully assist in the appeal process and do its utmost to ensure that Johnny Somali receives just punishment commiserate with his crimes. And I could not agree more. So what does this mean in practicality? They're pushing for an appeal. They're actually going to be advocating for that. And when the victim is advocating for an appeal, not just the public, not just people that are interested in this going forward from the outside, like myself and others, but someone who's on the inside with one of the key charges here, this is a massive push for them to actually appeal. So let's assume that they do appeal. The prosecutor does take this recommendation and go to appeal. This can potentially mean double detention under the Korean Criminal Procedures Act. So let me explain this to you. We already have a sentence of 6 months in prison. Now I put a little asterisk there because technically it's 6 months in prison with labor. So that's him working in a factory or cleaning up the prison toilets. That's going to happen for 6 months. He's also got another 20 days detention. So it's really 6 months and 20 days, but let's call it 6 months in prison. On top of that, the court or the criminal procedure allows for another 6 months of custody, up to another 6 months of custody for the first appeal. So just the first appeal, and I'm not going to complicate this by getting into Supreme Court appeals because he can be retained and detained for even longer for the Supreme Court. But just for the first appeal, he can be detained another 6 months. So that effectively will double his sentence to 12 months, 1 year in custody. That would be absolutely grand if they can just go ahead and double that. So the appeal itself might take 9 months, it might take a year, and they can hold him for that time. And I think that would be absolutely justified and absolutely grand. So here's my judgment. Prosecutors now have overwhelming cause to file an appeal. There's absolutely no reason why they should not or would not file an appeal, and I do expect that to happen in the next week. Also, this appeal doubling at a minimum the amount of time Johnny Somali is detained. So this is just assuming that there's an appeal and they don't even win the appeal. But what happens if they win the appeal? Let's say they go back, they appeal it, and he gets 2 years or 3 years. That would be grand because then they've effectively done a 3x, 4x, 6x, whatever of the time that he was sentenced. So not 6 months, but let's say 2 years, 3 years. That would be awesome if they win. But even if they don't win, they double it at a minimum, and I like those odds. Somali had a plan to blackmail Bong Bong. He actually called it his Uno reverse. But now Bong Bong has done an Uno reverse back to his reverse and hit him with +6 months. She is key to keeping him in there for longer, and that lawyer and Bong Bong working together to submit that written appeal to push the prosecutor's office is key. So if you guys can support Bong Bong in this and leave a little positivity for her to encourage her to do that, we all want to see Johnny Somali in there for a just period of time, and the majority of people think 6 months is not enough. So I'm happy to see a potential doubling here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's finally happening. David has been arrested and is being held without bail. It's been 7 months since a child's body was found decomposing in the trunk of his towed vehicle, and now authorities have arrested him as the main suspect in her murder. Her name was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She went missing in 2024, and her body.
Soon, when you visit the grocery store, you may see this label on your butter, milk, and cheese. But under the same labeling system proposed by the FDA, a Diet Coke would not require this label. Bill Gates' new artificial butter would also not require this label. It's made in a factory using chemistry originally developed for the fuel industry. As ridiculous as this may seem, very soon it may be reality. The FDA has publicly stated that this label is their official 2026 priority. And as we speak, they are pulling out every tactic possible to ensure this does happen. Right now, behind the scenes, this is turning into one of the most heated and consequential battles over public health that has ever been fought.
95% of people on the USDA Nutrition Guidelines for America 2020-2025 had a conflict of interest with food companies.
Mind-blowing after the slander we got for the hypocrisy to be that apparent.
And this label is going to be decided on very soon. Here's what RFK Jr. said on the Joe Rogan Experience just a month ago.
We're going to do front of package food labeling. So every food in your grocery store will have a label on it. It'll have maybe a green light, a red light, or a yellow light.
The only question that now remains is what the criteria will be that is used to determine which foods get what label. RFK Jr. and the Make America Healthy Again movement are doing everything they can to rewrite the criteria and use a very different labeling system. Now, the implications of this bill cannot be understated.